Hey everybody, welcome on back. It's You Gotta Try This podcast with me, Large, and behind the ones and twos is Ian, who's doing everything else. I eat and I talk, and Ian makes everything look like it's not shot on a shoe. Welcome on back. We've been on a nice little tear lately. I was in Chicago for a little bit a couple of weeks ago. Very, very lucky enough to have Jeff Morrow in the house. Had a really good interview with Jeff. And felt like I became almost friendly with him. My mom actually called the other day and said, I really liked the conversation you had with that gentleman from Chicago. And I said, oh, Jeff Morrow? Yeah, he was decent. She was like, no, the guy who did all the crack and then killed his grandmother. And that was Jersey Jerry. So while we were out there, we were lucky enough to sit down with Jersey Jerry as well. And a bunch of great feedback from that one too. I think you say it best. I think guys who normally have never spoke about food. This isn't Jeff Morrow. It's more like a Jersey Jerry thing. And then they come on this podcast for the first time and speak about it. They have kind of a good time doing it. You can tell. Like, I don't think a lot of people are just going through the motions here. And we have another one today. I have Chef Josh Capon coming on in just a couple of seconds. He's a celebrity chef. You've seen him around. He's on. What's up?
I'm laughing because I'm just hearing his name being pronounced for the first time. I've been calling him Josh Capon.
Oh God,
like Al Capone.
Yeah. So he's Capon, and so he's coming on. I just went to his restaurant. He just opened up a new chop house. He has a part of many restaurants, and we'll talk about him once Josh comes on. But he opened up a new chop house in Hackensack, New Jersey, at the Fancy Mall. You guys probably know that when I lived down in Atlanta in Buckhead, there was the Lenox Mall, which was a great mall as far as I was concerned. But across the street from it was Phipps Plaza. That was the fancy mall, had all the higher end stuff. So in Bergen County, New Jersey, where I live, there's like the Paramus Park Mall, which is very small. I don't even know how long it's going to survive, to be honest with you. But it does have a Stu Leonard's, which is wonderful. Then there's the Garden State Plaza, which is this gigantic mall. And then there's a smaller, more high-end mall where you don't see a lot of foot traffic called Riverside Square. And Riverside Square has a lot of the higher-end stores in there and a couple of good restaurants, including this new one, Capon's Chop House. So Josh is going to come on. He's been on everything in the Food Network. He's done some stuff with Barstool in the past. He's a great personality, so we're very, very lucky to have him on. Ian, you did a nice meal the other day. You went to Scalinatella, which is like that's a page out of my old book, because Scalinatella was a very popular place, probably still is, to entertain customers, to see and be seen. What did you think?
I can see why. The waiters, all the wait staff are very lively, making jokes, very involved in the meal. Almost like a third chair or fourth chair, however many people are at your table.
Right.
They didn't try to bang us for the seafood tower.
Yeah, so that's the hook. So whenever you come to New York City, can we make nice for the table? When somebody says they want to make nice for the table, I always say no. But I can understand that people don't know their way around the menu necessarily. They can put their trust in a waiter to make nice for the table. Let's bring out some of the specialties and whatnot. But once they make nice for the table and bring out the seafood tower, particularly if you're with a bunch of drunk Wall Street guys who all have corporate cards, oh, they bang you from behind on that thing. So I'm glad you escaped that. Well, how's the food though? Food was great, right? It
was unbelievable.
Old school New York.
The bread couldn't have been crustier. The pasta was great. The fresh bucatini made in house, but with a bolognese sauce.
Nice. That's yours?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My family knows what sauce to order.
So your brother Scott, who I've met on a couple of occasions, offensive lineman who's also just offensive, but he's an offensive lineman at Princeton, and he's going to do his grad school because he has 2 years eligibility left on his playing, I think.
I think only 1 year for eligibility. But yeah, he's going to grad school to finish out an MBA, I think, at Rice University in Houston, Texas.
So he's jumping down to Rice in Houston. Scott's a great kid, great ball player. And like, again, we've done food reviews with him. He's come with us. So did he let me ask you something. I'm not asking about NIL deals. I don't give a shit about that. I'm extremely happy for Scott. I'm looking forward to going down to Rice to visit him. But he gets this news. Who went out to eat?
It was me and my mom and my brother. And believe it or not, my brother actually set a reservation for a different restaurant earlier in the week.
Okay.
Called Olio e Pepe or whatever, something like that.
Okay. It's fucking crazy.
I get confused with all the names.
Sure.
All I do is talk about Italian restaurants on this show.
Yeah.
But my mom calls an audible. My mom goes, no. We're not going there because she hates going down. The place was in Greenwich Village. And my mom she works in the Bronx, so she's partial to staying closer to the uptown. Yeah. So we went to a place. She chose the place, Scala Nutella, because it's in the Upper East Side.
Yeah. And so mom chooses the place, but you're almost going out to celebrate the news that Scott's going. So here's my question to you. Did he pick up the bill?
He said he was going to.
Because it's a mom and her 2 boys.
And I usually am the one picking up because I'm the working boy.
Yeah, you're the older.
He's a student, obviously.
Yeah.
And
this was his shot, though, to pick up a bill.
This was we even texted him, I think, in a group chat with me and you. I was like, he'd be better pick it up on, because you told me to tell him that.
Fuck yeah.
That he better pick it up this time. He
short-armed you?
It gets to taking out the credit cards and he goes, I don't have any, my credit balance is only $1,500.
Oh, but you guys then did a real soup to nuts meal then. You had a very nice meal.
It wasn't a $1,500 meal.
Oh, okay.
But I guess he's not managing his debt correctly.
Alrighty. So Scott is not there yet.
He put it on the mom's credit card.
Did he? Wait, mom picked up the bill?
And he claims that he's paying her back on the back end.
I will tell you that.
Who knows how that happens?
I don't know your mom. I'd love to get to know your mom at some point. Respectfully, I'm not being an idiot about it. But I do know that there are some parents that are difficult to buy for. Like my parents can be difficult to pay for a meal for, even if we go to a diner. Like, they'll come all the way out to New Jersey. They'll spend time with my kids. They'll light up my kids with dough. And then we'll go to breakfast and I'll be like, all right, I'll pick up breakfast. And they'll be like, no, please, I'll pick up breakfast. Like they're just naturally generous. But I can work around that. I'll be like, no, mom, dad, you came out, just in tolls, you eclipse what this breakfast is. And they're normally, pretty good with it. They'll let me pick up bills. My father-in-law, God rest his soul, the guy who died 9/11, you picked up a bill, or if you went behind his back and gave the waiter a card and said, don't take a card from the guy over there, this is it, which I've done before, like with other family members who sometimes you do that just to ensure. That's a fireable offense from my father-in-law. So if Scott was being gingerly around your mom who wanted to be generous to congratulate her son on his next step in football and education, then I give him a pass. But otherwise, Scott's in a bad way with me. He's going to have to make it up.
When we're amongst other people, other families, like friends.
I love shitting on your brother.
Everyone in our family is insistent that we pick up the bill. Like our family.
Wait, they're insistent that they pick up the bill?
That we pick it up.
Oh, okay.
When we're with other people.
Okay.
So when it'll be like a full force of 3. Like you'll get my mom be like, oh, I'll pick it up. And then someone else's dad goes, oh no, please, it's on us. And then my brother steps in and goes, no, listen to our mom. It's on us. And then their wife comes, no, please, you got this. And then I come, it's a whole thing, a whole family battle to see who gets the check. And you're not gonna beat the Becker family in that.
Okay.
However, they're
very strong.
When it's internal, everyone's looking at that check like it's a fucking disgust in pieces, whatever that you never.
Yeah, like it's covered in AIDS.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I end up usually just manning up and doing it because it's been done for me a while in the past. My grandpa always did it, so I'm making money now. I can afford things. But my brother is not that way in house. He's like the best way to stay rich is to not spend your money, and
he ain't wrong.
He's not wrong, but also a lot of people say oh, you spend money comes back to you.
You spend to earn.
So whatever you believe in.
Yeah, I don't know where I am. Like right now I'm in a situation where my kids are 21, 18, and 15. So the majority of the time where we go out to eat, I pick up the bill. Right? It's just the way that it is. My 21-year-old, every now and again, particularly if we go down to visit him in Tuscaloosa, he'll grab a bill here and there. My other son, who does work, the 18-year-old Finnegan, he's barback at McMurphy's in Ridgewood, great Irish pub. And he'll pick stuff up every now and again. But always without me knowing. So I don't know if I'm going to be like my father-in-law. You don't pick up a bill in my fucking press, you know, like, and one of the things too is I was dating his daughter. So I think it's one of those things. Listen, it's my daughter. I'll pay for my daughter's meals. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. Never happen again. You know, and unfortunately I didn't get the chance for it to happen again because he'd passed away. So I'm wondering, or if I'm going to be one of those guys who's like, yeah, fuck you, pay for everything. You know, my daughter's boyfriend at some point or husband or fiance. It's interesting. I think you know, it's going to happen to me very soon.
I don't think I wouldn't go the whole Tony Soprano I'd be like I'd be impressed that you have the balls to try that.
Yes, he was insulted. I can tell you, and this isn't speaking poorly of the dead. Annie would be the first person to tell you that that's true. I will tell you guys. Here's a little parenting thing, and Ian, you're going to have some kids at some point, so here it is. My mom and dad, my mother-in-law, and other people in my kids' lives, aunts and uncles, would send them birthday cards. And the birthday cards, my parents used to always send cash. And it used to be $5 or $10. So Valentine's Day would come along. There'd be 3 Valentine's Day cards in the mailbox at one point from my mom to my 3 kids. And the 3 kids would have a 10 in each one. And then as time went on, I think it went up to like 20s in each one, to be honest with you. When my kids would open up those cards, I would take the money from them because they were so young. And people say, what's your favorite pizza? I get asked this all the time. What's your favorite pizza, Large? My favorite pizza, I can tell you with unbelievable confidence, is one that I paid for with my kids' money. I don't give a fuck if it's Domino's or Little Caesars or some, you know, $1 slice place. Paying for pizza with your liabilities money, oh, like that, you got to try this. You know what I mean? So there's a hack for people. Listen, we're in a bad way here, as the rest of the country is, with the snow and all the stuff that's going on in the Northeast, all the way down to like Texas and Oklahoma with ice storms and all that kind of stuff. I had seen a story yesterday. I had no idea. I just mentioned I live in northern New Jersey. There's a dude in northern New Jersey, and he's called the Snow Day Beignet Guy. He's a private chef. His name is Chris. Older gentleman. When I mean older, he's like my age. He's from Maplewood, New Jersey. And there's a guy on TikTok. His name is Ali, I think. Oh, now it's gone back to all the porn I see on TikTok. But the guy's name, I believe, is Ali. And he put this out where he highlighted this dude. And what he does is that every time schools are closed and stuff is closed in Bergen County, the guy goes into his kitchen and he just makes a shitload of beignets. And beignets are those fried dough, like sort of like the Zeppelis and whatnot, but they're very popular in and around New Orleans. He makes these beignets and then he just goes to about 50 different houses and just says, hope you guys are doing warm and safe, and gives them a dish of beignets. That's what the guy does. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know if that Oliver McAteer is the guy who put this out. He's a Brit in America. He's a New Jersey lover and weird marketing content. Oliver McAteer. And so he put this story out, and I was fascinated by it. It's just this older dude. He's in his fucking kitchen frying up beignets, covering them in powdered sugar, and bringing them around, I guess, the Maplewood area, which isn't too far from me, actually. Shout out this guy, Chris. He's a chef in Maplewood, making people's day. If you knock on my door during a snow day, 9 times out of 10, something went wrong. Something went wrong. Somebody slipped on my ice, or somebody needs to borrow this, or something went wrong. If I got a knock on my door and it's just like a familiar, friendly face, hand me a plate of beignets when like snow is coming down and people are running out of power and all that stuff. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear greasy aprons and they're covered in powdered sugar. So shout out to this guy. Let's give him a little bit of shine. Shout out to this guy, Chris. He's a chef in Maplewood. God bless you, big man. With that, let's talk about one of my favorite things in the world. This Cajun kick, man. I can't stop with it. It's getting terrible because I'm putting this stuff on everything. I know that is already used. I put that on everything, but this is one of those ones where I put it on everything, Ian. I'm honestly, like I admit. So it's Cajun kick. So it's Tony's famous Cajun kick. It's got a little less salt than the traditional Tony's, a little more garlic. and a clean hit of heat. It's a new blend based in the Tony's tradition. You can use it in place of salt and pepper. Literally, I had taken a hard-boiled egg out of the water. I took the shell off, cut it in half, and instead of adding my little salt, I added a little bit of the Cajun kick, and I'm popping hard-boiled eggs like they're aspirin. I told you how I feel about filet mignon. I'm now eating filet mignon because I'm covering it in goddamn Cajun kick. So I'm telling you right now, this is a seasoning blend that was a life changer for me. I think it'd be very good for you guys as well. You can get it in just a couple of stores. They're in local H-E-B, Rouse's, and Associated Grocers, Associated Wholesale Grocers, but it seems like those are in select stores in Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi. I don't know if we have a huge well, maybe we do. I don't know if we have a huge audience down in those states, but if you don't have any of those stores by you, or if you're not in one of those states, you can get it on Amazon. And you can also get it at CajunKick.com/Barstool. So meet the all-new Tony's Cajun Kick. Turn up the heat, turn up the flavor. Cajun Kick brings bold spice, zesty garlic, and just the right amount of burn to wake up anything on your plate. Shop now at CajunKick.com/Barstool, or as I mentioned, select stores in Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, and also on Amazon. I promise you guys, I think that this thing is going to make your life a little bit better and certainly make your dishes a lot more delicious. What's up?
You were just talking about a guy in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I have a question, New Jersey related.
Oh, go ahead.
This one is on Apple Podcasts. Appreciate the 5-star review. Guidry Adams.
Okay.
Gidry. Definitely botched that. Sorry, Gidry. Large. What's your opinion on the Jersey Sloppy Joe? As a Jersey guy, I don't get it. The Russian dressing and coleslaw feel redundant. Also, people freak out over Milburn Deli, but I'm frankly not a fan. And certainly don't think it warrants a 30-minute wait for a mediocre sandwich.
Okay. So thank you for sending that in. And as Ian had pointed out, if you guys leave 5-star reviews wherever you catch these podcasts, you can leave a question first, and we'll try to get to one in every episode. And it really helps out. Like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. The Sloppy Joe, for people who are outside of the New Jersey area, the Sloppy Joe is different than it is everywhere else in the world. Sloppy Joe is synonymous with that ground beef tomato mixture on a hamburger roll. That's how I've always known Sloppy Joes. We've escalated the Sloppy Joe to mean other things, but it still is that basis of ground beef, spices, and tomatoes. And it's sloppy. You know, you can start with your hands, but you normally finish it with a knife and fork. For some reason, in a very small part of New Jersey, they decided to do a Sloppy Joe as more of a club sandwich, like traditional cold cuts like roast beef and turkey and cheese. But then they also add coleslaw and Russian dressing. That's what a Sloppy Joe is. So it does resemble more of a deli sandwich that you would get in a place like Katz's than a Sloppy Joe that you would get in your school cafeteria. The Milburn Deli has been known as the place, maybe even the home of the Sloppy Joe. I don't know. It's so fucking crazy because I was supposed to go to the Milburn Deli with Mangold. Isn't that crazy how this guy keeps coming up in goddamn stuff? So anywho, so I haven't been to the Milburn Deli in ages. When I first tried the Sloppy Joe, since I'm a Russian freak, we just one of the reviews just came out was the Pastrami Grill Bistro in Garfield, New Jersey. And I made the perfect bite with a little pierogi, little Russian, and a little bit of pastrami. By the way, excellent pastrami in the Pastrami Grill Bistro. But back to this guy's point, I can see what he's saying. Like that overwhelming one note of like that dairy mayo backing from the coleslaw. And then you also get that also kind of dairy-ish from the Russian dressing, right? Because Russian dressing, I think at its core is mayo, ketchup, and pickle relish from what I know. So I can understand it being a little bit one note, but I like them. They remind me of like diner sandwiches, club sandwiches and diners and whatnot, where you have a relish tray and you load it up with like coleslaw and Russian. I don't think it's the type of sandwich that I would wait in line for a half hour for at the Milburn Deli. I do agree with this guy at that part, but they do sell them all over New Jersey. So I've had them outside the Milburn Deli, and it's not rocket science. It's relatively easy for any deli guy to make. So I will tell you, perhaps a little bit on the overrated side as far as being like an iconic New Jersey treat, but I'm not as negative as Gidry is on this because now that I'm thinking about it, I could go for a sloppy Joe, New Jersey style right now. So I would love to gang up on it with Guidry, but I will tell you, instead of doing that, I'm going to go and get one. I'm going to review one. I'll review a sloppy Joe. Maybe not the one out in Millburn Deli, but I'll review a very good sloppy Joe just to have, a little bit more recency bias and let you know. But otherwise, I'm team sloppy Joe on both sides. I wouldn't be disappointed to open up I'd like the Russian on the side though. So maybe this guy has something to it. He wants it like less wet and sloppy and all that. Sloppy Joe. I do like to have the Russian on the side. So maybe I am more on Guidry's side. Man, this guy's got me in a fucking pickle, Ian. Why did you pick this question? Or all the fucking questions we could have had. So let's wait and see. I'll go to Millburn Deli, but I will tell you in the past, sloppy Joes have always been a good experience for me. I got something in a DM. We had mentioned to somebody what we look for in a good bodega. And I had said the whole thing about it being Puerto Rican and Dominican, about having a cat in a window, the whole deal. Some guy had sent me one. His name is C. Palmieri. And he's like, I'll add a couple about bodegas. And I think I'd like to have these added to the record. They perform unwritten or unspoken community functions. Like they will hold on to a set of apartment keys for guests coming over when you're not home. I think this gentleman sending me this, that's such a slice of New York. That's such a slice of New York of somebody who's living alone in an apartment above a bodega on 2nd Avenue and 7th Street. And he's going away, but his brother is coming into town. What do? You can go down to the bodega that you see every morning. You see the guys every morning for your coffee and your buttered roll. And you'd be like, hey, can I leave these keys here for when Scott shows up? And it's no problem. It's one of those things. And I think that little nuance that person added with this comment means the fucking world to me. It's because a bodega, first and foremost, is a neighborhood joint. They know the people who come in. They make fun of the people who come in for the first time. I don't know. He's like 100% trustworthy. My girlfriend couldn't get a jar of jelly open, so she walked over to the bodega and the counter guy opened it for her. My neighbor had an overflowing toilet when nobody was around, so in a panic, she ran over to the bodega and the counter guy ran back with her and turned the water off, averting a disaster. Oh, and to be a real bodega, they need to run a high-dollar Super Bowl pool. And you should tip the counter guy like you tip the counter guy at Katz's. Those are all valid, man. I don't know about the high-dollar Super Bowl pool, right? I mean, we're not going $1,000 boxes at the local bodega, but I could see like a nice little box pool, $100 a box in there. I think that's very good add-ons. I appreciate this guy sending those in more than you know.
The bodega he's describing is the exact bodega that I lived across the street from when I was in the Lower East Side. Oh,
really? Okay.
On Rivington.
Yeah. Like in a pinch, you can grab like flowers there. You know what I mean? Like they have the flower things outside. So yeah, the bodega culture and the bodega way of life is one that I'm totally on board with, and I appreciate this guy sending in a couple of add-ons. All right, let's talk to Josh Capon. But before we do, I just wanted to remind you guys about HelloFresh. I cook a lot at home. I do. I cook a lot at home. My wife is not as good of a cook as I am. It's just the way that it is. She's better at other things. And HelloFresh winds up being the perfect service for both of us because we can bring everyone together with meals that are simple and rewarding on a busy weeknight. There's like 100 different recipes to choose from, including cuisines from around the world and meals that'll help you beat the winter blues, all from HelloFresh. So they'll send you all the ingredients and idiot-proof instructions on how to make them. So if I'm on the road, my wife will make my kids this meal from scratch with the high-quality ingredients, and it'll come out just like it is on the postcard with the instructions. I'll come home and see these ingredients in my kitchen. I don't necessarily even follow their instructions, but it's always high-quality stuff that I can then go and Frankenstein my own meal with. Honestly, it works out for a couple like us because we're not eating as much anymore as the kids are starting to go to college and whatnot, but we still want to eat stuff that we understand where it came from. We don't want to have a meal that we're putting, especially with my daughter at home, that we just don't know what we're putting, on the table in front of her. And so this is one of those ones where it works. You can choose from 35 high protein meals each week for our gains. They have a new Mediterranean sort of menu, and they also have these GLP-1 friendly options. I spoke to Ian before this. I've never seen that before. So if you're on one of these shots where you get all screwed up as you're losing your weight, these guys are able to find a balance of natural foods that can help you along the way, stuff that you'll be able to tolerate. Feel great with wholesome ingredients like sustainably sourced seafood and 100% antibiotic and hormone-free chicken. That's awesome. So I think that this is a great product for people who know how to cook and for people who don't know how to cook, people who have big families or people who have small families. I think it fits the bill for just about anything that you need. So go to HelloFresh.com/large10FM, LARGE, the number 10, FM, and you'll get 10 FMs, 10 free meals, plus a free Zwilling knife, which is like $144 value on your third box. So it's one of those things where they'll get you in with large 10 FM, you'll get 10 free meals, and then on your third box, you'll get a free Zwilling knife, which is $144.99 value. This offer is valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box, new subscribers only, and the details vary by plan. So you have to go to HelloFresh.com/large10FM, get your free meals, and then work your way towards getting a free high-quality knife. So we have Tony's Cajun Kick, we have HelloFresh, and we got Josh Capon. This is a fucking show. Let's get to Josh right now. Hey, everybody, welcome on back. This is You Gotta Try This. And as promised, I have Chef Josh Capon, who I'm just going to refer to as Capon for the rest of this thing, because I feel like that's the most respectful thing that I can do. And if you want to know what Capon has done, he's done everything, right? So if you go and you turn on the Food Network, he's on there. If you want to go to a restaurant that's fine dining, then he owns it. If you want to go to a restaurant that's so fucking exclusive that you're never going to get in, he owns it also. But he also has some other stuff that's a little bit more approachable. So I really feel like I have a guy sitting next to me who's hit for the cycle in just about everything in the food world. Is that a fair introduction for you?
I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate the introduction, Large.
Yeah,
I'm thrilled to be here, by the way.
But the like from the classical, would you say that you have a classical pedigree, like Charlie Palmer? Like there are people that are monsters in the food
world.
Charlie
Palmer, David Burke, highbrow, lowbrow.
Right. So I think when we had Mauro, I just talked to you before you came in about having Mauro on the show. When I talked to him about getting his...
by the way, better musician than chef. I shouldn't say better musician than chef.
Sneaky good musician.
Damn good musician. I was just on a celebrity chef cruise where him and his band played, and I got to tell you, they were on fire.
Yeah. He was in like Tony and Tina's wedding.
Yep.
Remember when that was like that? Yep. Interactive bullshit and stuff like that? He was Tony.
And now he's doing a stand-up show.
He's going around doing it in city wineries.
Yeah. All right, enough about Jeff Mauro.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, it's all that. But can we go down before we get into your background, all the places that you straight out own or are a partner in? Because I find it to be overwhelming.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
So do I sometimes, but I appreciate that.
But
all right,
end with the Chop House. Let's stop.
I was going to start with the Chop House. I was going to work backwards.
Okay.
We just most recently where you were on Friday night.
Yes, Friday, yeah.
We just opened up Capon's Chop House, literally in my backyard at the Shops at Riverside in Hackensack, New Jersey. This is a mall that I grew up going to as a kid.
Right.
So there's something very, very special about having a restaurant with my name in lights. It's pretty freaking cool. I say it's on the heels of a lot of other people's hard work, but also this is 30 years in the making for me, and it feels really good. The place is packed every night with people that I don't know, and if I don't know you when you walk in, chances are I'm going to know you before you leave.
I was unfortunate enough to be there on a day where you weren't there because you were traveling. As a matter of fact, you had just come back through the snow and all that stuff, so I really appreciate you making your way here because New York is a fucking mess today.
Disaster.
It's an absolute disaster. So I sat down, I brought my wife and my daughter, and we ordered a bunch of the small plates. We only ordered one entree, just the pork chop.
Which, by the way,
delicious.
is pretty spectacular. It's my favorite dish on the menu.
It's the new steak for me. I order more pork chop than I do anything else in the world.
It's a shame, by the way, because pork is still frowned upon just a little bit. It is such a wonderful, clean, rich, decadent meat. It's a Duroc pork chop, spicy vinegar peppers. I eat that thing twice a week. It's amazing.
When you say clean, that's exactly it. I don't leave smelling like a pork chop.
No.
Like, honestly, I feel like I go to a steakhouse. I know I'm at a steakhouse. I go and I eat a pork chop. I know I was just a gentleman. I don't know what it is, but I had a wonderful meal, soup to nuts. The review is
crispy
already
candied bacon nuggies. You had the caviar hash browns. You had the spicy tuna crisp fries. You had the Frito misto. You did do it well, and I apologize for not being there, but I'm pretty sure my staff took good care of you and they provided a level of Josh hospitality, as we like to call it. But I do look forward to you coming back. Bring the crew with you, and we'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would tell you that even the people that were waiting on us, because one of them had recognized me because I'm a huge star. And they'd said how they were going to
large in charge, baby.
So they were going to try and replicate the experience that they have when you're in the house.
I love that.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Let me tell you something. I'm really proud of the product, but I'm really proud of the staff. We put a lot of effort into training our staff, and really, I want my essence to come through, whether I'm there or not. And as you continue to open up more places, that is the biggest challenge, to make sure that level of Josh hospitality or whatever it may be carries through. I can't be everywhere. I try. I am all over the place. I am nonstop. I'm full throttle, but I can't be everywhere. And the best compliments I get is, whether I'm there or not, that hey, your staff really took great care of us. And I'm so appreciative of it.
Yeah, I can echo that sentiment 100%. The young man who was waiting on us.
Do you remember who it was?
So the young man who was waiting on us, I believe his name was Jin.
Yes, wonderful. Yes. Jin's one of our rock stars.
Very, very nice. And then the young lady who was the manager that night, who had glasses on, she'd given me her card. I didn't bring the card in with me. Maybe Lisa? I don't know.
Angela?
Anna and Angela could have been either one. But either way, from the people who we checked in with at the front desk, all the way through, and it was top notch, and the food was fucking delicious. And to your point, I'm having these crispy, almost like these pork belly nuggets, like you're saying, these
crispy candied bacon nuggets.
Yeah, with this sweet and sour glaze on top of them, and then this thinly sliced pickled shallots.
You're good, dude. I'm
telling you, like,
you're the wrong business.
When the hash browns came out, I wasn't expecting it to be a stick, and then I'm a sucker for a deviled egg. So as you pipe on the deviled egg mixture, and then you put a quenelle of fucking caviar on it.
A big dollop of caviar.
Yeah,
Can you put like some slow, sexy music in the background when he talks about food? Imagine. And I did notice, by the way, because I reposted your piece today, I love how you just turned the hash brown over so the caviar hit your tongue first. Like, I know how you eat sushi now. You're a freaking pro, dude.
I will tell you then, I had to pull back because I'm a sucker for banana split. And if you're going to brulee it, if you're going to brulee the banana,
baby?
Yeah,
no carrot cake? No carrot cake?
I didn't do the carrot cake because I'm on a diet, so I only ordered 12 dishes.
I've been on a diet since I'm 14 years old. How's yours going for you, buddy?
It's not going too well. Any day now.
Every Monday morning, I'm like, let's get it, Capon.
Yeah, I got a walking pad for Christmas. It's got fucking dust on it.
Yeah.
All right, so Capon's Chop House is the one in Hackensack. We have the review up. If you're in and around there, I think you guys already know, if you're in and around there, what type of mall Riverside is. And it's like a high-end mall, so everything in there is awesome. The restaurants that they do choose to put in there, you're not going in there to hit a Taco Bell. Like, in case people go one for one outside of New Jersey and other places, and they're like, is this a strip mall thing? This is a beautiful place. And then your place fits in perfectly as the cornerstone because it's at the main entrance.
It's at the main entrance. We actually opened up right next to Houston's, which, is a landmark in itself. But yeah, we're really excited about the opportunity. We love the partnership with Simon Properties. It's really going well. We hit the ground running. This was a Ferrari on stilts that just needed a fresh coat of paint and a pair of tires. And we took this thing out for a ride, and I'm really, really excited.
What else?
We're just getting warmed up.
Yeah. What else do you have?
So then we have Fly Fish Club.
Fly Fish Club, which I haven't been to because I haven't got the invite.
Oh, you're coming. You are cordially invited.
You see how I threw that in?
You are cordially invited.
We're 2 minutes in, and I just
open that door, and I will walk through. I'd be thrilled to have you come check out Fly Fish Club. Fly Fish Club is our culinary-driven membership club downtown in New York City. Something we are really, really proud of. 3 to 4 years in the making. We opened up the door 2 years ago. It is going very, very, very well. We use
Gary V.
Gary V is my partner. Gary V, David Rowlitz, Connor Hanlon. couldn't ask for better partners in the entire world. We started this thing off with an NFT membership. Now it's kind of evolved to just being a straight membership club. But you use the term community in a membership club, and I got to tell you, like the people that are in there day in and day out, it's really what makes the place so special. Obviously, the food and the culinary program is second to none, driven by my chef partner Connor. We're putting out good stuff. It's a 3-level space. Upstairs is the main dining room and bar. The second floor down, we have a private dining room for up to 16 and the kitchen. And then all the way downstairs, we have a lounge speakeasy that we call Cattail. Really, really beautifully elegant space. The whole space was designed by my high school buddy, Garrett Singer Design. And we also have an omakase room downstairs, which is just lights out for a high-end omakase experience or any kind of tasting of event of any kind. It's a one-stop shop. You come, you have dinner upstairs, you go downstairs, you listen to some music, DJ, magicians, comedians, game night, Knicks games, any kind of ball games down there. We're doing a Super Bowl party. You don't want to leave. You come for the omakase, you stay for a couple of drinks afterwards. It is spectacular and something that we are really, really proud of. And if you haven't been, please come check it out.
And they don't exist as much as they used to. Like the clubs. There was the Italian American club. I used to remember it. And you would go, you would have a meal that would knock your fucking eye out. Then you could go downstairs and fire 22s.
Yep.
Like it was one of those things where everyone knew each other and you would go down there and you wouldn't even order. It's
I want to go where everybody knows your name. Your favorite
exactly.
TV show. I think what's also nice about it, like even my wife, like if we go out to dinner in the city, the chances of us going out someplace after dinner are slim to none.
Right.
What's really nice is it's an elevated program because you have dinner upstairs and then you go downstairs for a drink. Maybe you stay for 1, maybe you stay for 4. Maybe DJ Scram Jones is playing on a Thursday night. Next thing you dance to a little hip hop. It's just a really, really well-designed space. And again, I'm very proud of the team for executing at a very high level. People come there. Our members bring in guests. They literally like, hey, how can we join? Because it is something special to be a part of.
I can't wait to go.
Please do.
That's number 2. What else we have?
Number 3, we got Little Maven. Little Maven was our first project when we formed VCR Group. It's a American neighborhood restaurant on West 18th Street between 5th and 6th. Your boys came in.
Tommy and Marty.
Yes, Tommy and Marty did a really great piece. I mean, they said it was the greatest restaurant they've ever been to.
That's awesome.
They were a lot of fun. Again, just good food that you want to jump in there anytime. Whether just steak frites, steamed black bass, killer burger, tuna cannolis. It's a catch me all.
Right.
Great hospitality. We probably have the best team in there that we've had since day one, between back of the house and front of the house. Do a lot of private events. We have a private dining room in the back as well. But yeah, Little Maven is definitely something very special. That was our first flag as we created the VCR group. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, again, the challenge for me now is getting everywhere where I want to be and where I need to be, because just to make sure we support the teams.
We're just getting started. Little Maven, what else?
Little Maven, we have Ito. Ito is
This is a fucking brochure, by the way. This isn't an interview. This is a
we
brochure.
just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Ito is our first class, world class omakase counter downtown in Tribeca on Barclay Street with our partners Masa Ito and Kevin Kim. This is easily one of the top omakase experiences in the city. Relatively priced sensitively, because I think some of these guys are getting a lot of control.
Yeah.
So I do think we offer a nice value. It's not cheap, but I think considering some of these other programs out there, people are getting out of control. So these guys, I'm telling you, Masa Ito and Kevin Kim, like two of the sweetest guys I've ever met, I've ever worked with. By far, two of the most talented guys. They are there all the time. They live and breathe this operation. And when you go in there, it's like one of my greatest dining experiences when I graduated culinary school, when my dad was still alive. He took me to a place called Boulé. And if you remember the original Boulé, when you walked into Boulé, there was a 100-pound, 500-pound wood door that opened up, and when it slammed behind you, you were stuck in between a room and the next door that was filled with apples and fruit and herbs and like foliage. And like when that door slammed behind you, you were transported someplace else and you forgot where you are. Like your senses were like overloaded. I think Ito has that same vibe. Ambiance. And what's really nice is like Boulé was this monster restaurant. Ito was a very small restaurant, but when you're invited into the space, all of a sudden you literally forget where you are, and you could transport it to Japan or wherever it may be. The whole environment takes over, and then of course after your welcome cocktail and the omakase starts, you literally are just blown away.
Really?
It's something special. Again, I would love for you to have come experience that. These guys are.
Would it be easier if I just moved in?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah, listen, I'm
I
large.
don't need much.
I'm going to say something to you, and we're what 7.5 minutes into this interview. I believe in two things. I believe communication is the key to life, and here we are having a nice conversation via podcast. More importantly, I believe life is about relationships, and one of the reasons why I love what I do is I believe food brings people together. Right? Here I am. We just literally met 7 minutes ago.
Yes.
I am really welcoming you into my house anytime you want for a sleepover, because I don't just do dinner. You wake up in the morning. You're my brunch program. It's all bring the wife, bring the kid. I got my dog. I have a little movie theater downstairs. We can have some fun. Air hockey.
See what I'm saying?
You want the full Josh Battaglia experience?
I have 12
Forget about the restaurant. Just come into my house.
I have 12 relatives coming in from Ireland. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Okay.
Bring them
good.
all.
Yeah, a lot of them.
I'll stock up on the Guinness. I'll make some corned beef and cabbage, and we're ready to rock.
Go. Ito. What else?
So Ito, so then we dive into our Fontainebleau Las Vegas properties.
By the way, if you're going to Las Vegas and you're going to book a room at a place where you have to walk through a casino and smell like fucking cigarette smoke no matter where you stay, then you're an idiot. When you can go to the Fontainebleau, not have to go through the casino, not feel like you're in a place that's 200 years old but hasn't had fresh paint since fucking Dean Martin walked through, right? Like, is this right?
Lawrence, I got to tell you, you're like my brother from another.
There it is.
So yes, we were just discussing the Fontainebleau, and I got to tell you, this is a brand new, first class, top of the line, $4 billion property, and everything about this property is spectacular. So to all of you people, whether you've been staying at the Wynn or the MGM or the Bellagio, here's my analogy. All right, I want you to walk into a car lot. Okay. And you have two options. You have the Ferrari to your left, which is 18 years old, which is still a beautiful Ferrari, right? But it's got a few miles on it, to say the least. We all know what goes on in hotel rooms in Vegas, or let alone Vegas, or an 18-year-old car.
Yeah.
It's been driven. It's worn. Still looks pretty, though. Still looks pretty. Maybe it just came out of the car wash.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into the 18-year-old Ferrari, or do you want to get into the brand new LaFerrari on the right, which has 72 miles on it, which smells absolutely beautiful,
yes,
which is pristine in every way,
yes,
which has all the newest and latest bells and whistles?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
I don't know why people get nostalgic when they go to book a room that's been covered in fucking semen.
Whoa, hey,
you know what I mean?
hey,
like, that's what I'm saying. If you want that much protein, then fucking go somewhere and
listen.
And get
you've
a bar.
seen some of these reviews with the blue lights. It ain't pretty. But
tough.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, what are we talking about here? And first of all, the culinary program, which I am so proud to be a part of at the Fontainebleau. And I'm not just saying this; it's second to none. It's off the charts. I mean, from the minute you walk in the door, there's not one bad option when it comes to dining. Everything has been curated for a reason. So again, you have this brand new LaFerrari to your right. Why would you stay anyplace else?
Right.
Because it's a little bit off the strip. Where else do you go? I don't know how many people, when you go to a hotel in Vegas, that you're really walking out of the hotel and walking around. So I don't even leave the hotel because I don't have to.
Right.
Because it's got everything I need, from the gym, world class, to the spa, world class, to every restaurant, to the pool, which is an ice skating rink in the wintertime, the theater. It's unbelievable. They have boxing events. They have power slaps. They have a pit bull. There's every concert in the world there.
Yeah.
So I was just out there for 4 days.
Pitbull's everywhere, though.
I got to tell you, I'm a big fan.
Out there.
Big fan.
I saw him twice last year. You don't come at me with fucking pitbull.
Let me tell you something.
I own the sunglasses. I'll go get them right now. He's an entertainer.
He is so
cool,
good. And when you talk about a residency, like if I was staying there 3 nights, I might go 2 out of the 3 nights.
Yeah.
But listen, I was just at the Fontainebleau. I was there for 4 days. I averaged 7 miles a day in steps. I never left the hotel.
Really?
And I didn't hit the gym.
But now, so you're part of the food program.
So I'm
there,
part
correct?
of the culinary program. Yes. Thankful to Jeff Sulfur, to Brett Muffson. I say life is about relationships. My partner David had a very long-standing relationship with Brett Muffson. They invited us in. We did our first location of Capon's Burgers, and I got to tell you, I'm probably gonna get emotional as I say this, because I'm an emotional guy. Like, I have my name in lights in Vegas at one of the most beautiful hotels in the world, and if you don't think that's something I'm incredibly grateful for, then you got to be crazy. I mean, people go go out there. They're taking pictures in front of the signs. We offer my award-winning burgers. I'm the winningest chef in Burger Bash history, the 8-time champion of the Burger Bash. So it feels kind of right that you're going to go to Vegas. I got the belt. I got the heavyweight championship belt. I got the trophy. I got the street cred.
What the fuck is going on?
We got award-winning burgers
going on here? Well,
at the Promenade, which is like the food court, in the Fontainebleau. It's just incredible. And I'll tell you a quick story. Like, Jeff Sulfur, I love telling this story because Jeff Sulfur is a beast of a human being, right? Very successful. All this stuff. Fontainebleau. We are there for the grand opening. We're there for the grand opening. Mm-hmm. All of us out there in there with our wives, grand opening. He's got the whole world coming to this hotel. The whole world, from Tom Brady to whoever it may be. And it was the first time I've seen him since they launched the property. And my neighbors in lights. And it was the day before the grand opening. And I walked over to him just to say, hey, Jeffrey, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you because this is like, seriously, like I'm a kid from Rockland County. Like this is a bit of a dream come true. This is all of my hard work and you surround yourself by good people, from my partners to now partners in the hotel. Surround yourself by good people and good things happen. Yeah. And I walk over to this guy who's let's be honest. I mean, it's a heavy hitter, this guy. Absolute gentleman. I said, hey, Jeffrey, I just wanted to, I was about to say thank you. He goes, Capon, thanks for the shout out on Good Morning America yesterday. And I was so taken aback because I was on Good Morning America the day before. I talked about coming out to the Fontainebleau. I talked about the grand opening. I gave a big shout out to Jeffrey Sulfur and Brett Mufson. Just say thanks for this incredible opportunity and congratulations on one of the most beautiful hotels, not just Vegas, but this world has ever seen. And I'm just excited to be partners with you guys. Before I got thank you out of my mouth, this guy's like, hey, thanks for the shout. I'm like, I was like, it just stopped me in my tracks. And what's his name? Ian's over there nodding because like, it's just real people. And that's what the world needs more of.
I got very happy when you were like, what's Tommy and Marty's name again? I love when you said it to me.
I love it.
But when you said that about Ian, that just made my fucking day.
Listen, I always say, listen, without Ian, who's really, this is not happening without Ian.
Yeah.
I always say, take care of the people that take care of you. Ian, you come to one of my restaurants anytime. Ian, you can speak. You can say thank you.
Don't fucking talk.
Don't.
Absolutely. No, it's I eat and I talk. Ian makes sure, and for people who listen to this regularly, you know, there is no anything without this fucking kid because I can't even set my alarm, much less put out something on social media that doesn't look like it was shot by an Amish person. Shout out the Amish.
All right, so we're in the middle of a podcast, right? Yeah. You got to try this with my boy Large. Shout out to Ian over there. Ian. Finally. Without Ian, nothing happens, right?
He's the backbone.
You know we love the podcast. Large was the Chop House on Saturday night.
I was.
Loved it. Ian, don't talk, but you're more than welcome to my restaurant anytime. Let's go.
Ian, you're allowed to talk. Obviously, I set a bad precedent.
Anyway, back to Jeffrey Sulfur and that whole experience. It just really stopped me in my tracks because, again, surround yourself by good people that appreciate and respect everybody's hard work, a la Ian, and that's how good things happen.
But the reason behind it is, though, because you're a hard worker. Like, so even these gentlemen are able to clean. Like, Ian is one of the hardest working kids I've ever met in my life. And so as a result, I have a ton of respect for him. I don't just give that up. Like, you know what I mean? So I think you have such a track record of being a hustler, right? In every sense of the word, right? Because I think hustler is a pretty good word for a guy like you. And a guy like me, honestly, like I feel like that. Try to take some relationships, make something out of it that's mutually beneficial for all of us, and let's have a fucking good time. And I think that's the way you go through life, and that's why you got your finger in more fucking pots than you have fingers now. Is that fair to say?
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm welling up a little bit. I'm getting a little emotional.
Oh, geez,
listen, Large, I love you because I'm 53 years old. I will say this confidently: I am working harder than I ever have in my entire life.
Really?
I feel better than I ever have in my entire life, mentally and physically. I don't even need to set an alarm up anymore because I'm getting up before the alarm goes off. And there was a time, a few years ago, I was not in such a great place. I was dragging ass. I wasn't feeling that good. I was living in the past, not concentrating on the present, and couldn't even think about the future. So to all of you younger kids, Ian, you're probably half my age. I'm 53 years old. I got to tell you guys, girls, get the fuck up and hit the go button and go.
Yeah.
Put a smile on your face. And I know it's not that easy. You know what? You got to do it. Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it, man. Look at Dave. I mean, Dave is
perfect example.
There's a reason why he's a president, started this company. He is nonstop. He is, whatever he's doing something. Yeah. A lot of my friends in town, I have a buddy in town, he always says to me, how are you always on? How are you always on? When do you turn it off? Listen, I sleep like a fucking rock. I sleep like 7-8 hours a night.
Okay.
I have the best wife in the entire world that without her, I would literally be a pile of mud on the side of the highway. I have the cutest dog in the entire world that gives me everything I need. I have 2 amazing kids. Like I have family and friends that support and encourage and nurture. And again, surround yourself by people that understand what you need. Again, 3 years ago, I was challenged. I was just like, I wasn't seeing clearly. And I had every friend from every angle giving me different support from, hey, you should be doing this, the little coddling, to my best friend in the entire world, Jason Prussia, was like, Capon, just shut the fuck up and go back to work.
Right.
Like, do what you do best. He goes, I'm a mortgage broker. I sit in my basement all day long and I work my ass off, but it's not exactly fun. He goes, you get to go run around restaurants. You got beautiful people. You got celebrities. You got musicians. You got athletes. Like, what are you really complaining about? And in the end, after 3 executive coaches and a lot of positive encouragement, my best friend was right. Shut the fuck up and just go back to work. And dude, you have a gift. You know, my dad gave me the gift of gab. I do confidently say that I think people have a better time when I'm around. I walk into a room, I try and enhance everybody's experience. I love that when you went to Chop House, you had a first class experience. You just wait till when I'm there because it's like going to SeaWorld. You go to SeaWorld, you can't leave without seeing Shamu, right?
Right.
You just can't.
Right.
You want Shamu to jump up in front of you. I am the Shamu of Capon Chop House. I might even be the Shamu. You know, listen, my dear friend Bobby Flay, who I absolutely love.
I hate him.
Don't say that.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
I love, adore, and respect the shit out of Bobby Flay. And he has been a dear friend and a mentor and a guiding light, especially in these last 5 years during my transition. He does not. And by the way, he could top out tomorrow. Believe me, he's fine. Yeah. He's like, now he's talking about opening a restaurant in New York City. I'm like, Bobby, you need that like a hole in the head. My point is, when I was judging Beat Bobby Flay, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't remember. And he referred to me as the Jackie Gleason of the food world.
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's funny because when he said it to me, my first instinct was I took it not negatively, but I kind of was like, that's not that cool. Excuse me? Jackie Gleason? All day, you can compare me to Jackie Gleason, one of the greatest comedians of all time. Yeah, I'll be Jackie Gleason because I know now, and I'm not going to say, not many people do what I do and bridge the gap between the back of the house and the front of the house and tie the two together and enhance the guest experience when they're in the dining room, work with the front of the house the way I do, and just put on the goddamn show that I do day in and day out. And the blessing and curse, the blessing and the curse of opening up Capon Chop House. I love Ian. He's just freaking nodding away.
Yes.
You're picking up what I'm putting down, Ian? Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I need him.
Dude, yeah. I want it, Ian.
Yeah.
The blessing and curse, as my best friend Prussian said, of opening Capon Chop House 12 minutes away from my house is there is no excuse, unless I'm out of town, for ever not going by. Because I get a reservation report every night at 3 o'clock. I don't even care whether I know the people or not, because I know if I know them, great. I'm more worried about the people that I don't know that are coming to Capon Chop House for a great meal, but also maybe to see Capon, because I see people in their seats like, that's him. That's him.
Right.
I walk around with my chef coat on, my chef shirt on, whatever it is, and people want a piece of the big guy. Right, Lawrence? Yeah. People want a piece of the big guy.
That's how I live my life.
You don't go to SeaWorld without sitting. I'll never forget this. It's like a funny memory. I took my kids to SeaWorld in Key Biscayne. I don't know, 7 years ago. And you know me, if I take my kids to see Shamu, we are not sitting in the no, what is it called? The zone?
Splash zone.
We are not sitting in the no splash zone. Oh no, we are splitting in the middle of the
Blue
splash
Man
zone.
Group are up front. Gallagher shows. Remember that fucking guy?
Love Gallagher, the watermelon?
Yeah.
Wow, we're going way back. Blue Man Group with the toilet paper, yes. We sit dead smack in front of the splash zone. My daughter wasn't smart enough to realize where we were sitting. Right. And sure enough, Shamu, I don't think my son was born yet. He was a baby. My wife and my son are 10 rows back. There I have my daughter Amanda, who was just my absolute spirit animal. She's sitting next to me. There it goes. Shamu goes up. Shamu goes down. The tidal wave could not have hit us any more perfectly.
Oh, really?
And we went from, we both was cracking up. And then, of course, it was ice cold, so she got upset a little bit. But it was like that moment as a father that I can relive for the rest of my life.
It's priceless. I'm going to go back real quick because we do have a younger audience.
Can I tell you one of my biggest regrets?
When you said Jackie Gleason, though. I just don't want to go by that because somebody once told me that I dance like Jackie Gleason. And I said, is that an insult? And then I think about it. Jackie Gleason dances like a manatee swims. It's effortless and it's fun to watch.
Large, you are an absolute poet. Say that again.
Jackie Gleason dances like a manatee swims. It's effortless and it's beautiful to watch.
I got to tell you, you are effortless and beautiful to
So when
listen
somebody
to.
tells you that you're the Jackie Gleason and you're like, I don't know if that, when somebody said, we'd gone to Katz's with the owner, Jake Dell.
Love Jake.
And he went up.
Big Jake.
He let us behind the curtain and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we go up there. He's like, what do you want? I was like, I'm going to do pastrami, tongue, chopped liver. And he's like,
Your tongue
you order
guy.
like a 90-year-old Jew.
your tongue
I said,
guy.
oh
Wow.
my God, thank you. Michael McCarthy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so a Jackie
That's
Gleason
amazing.
thing, I can't let that go. But also one of the things I wanted to say before you go on, you had said how you balance the front of the house versus the back of the house, right? And how you're one of those guys that's able to do both. Where are you now as far as your skills? Like as far as your skills in the kitchen, because it doesn't seem like when I'm going to go back to Capon's Chop House that you're going to be firing the steak for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you gotten away from maybe what brought you into the food world and you're not
it's
working with
funny.
your tools?
You're very intuitive because, yeah, a little bit, but I have also learned and I've been coached and I've been guided to let the culinary team do what they need to do. And it's funny because like Ja Rule is one of our partners in the restaurant, and the other day he came in, they wanted a cheesesteak. And I went back there and I made him a cheesesteak. And my executive chef was like, I got it. I'm like, I got it, dude. It's fine. Like, I want to do this. Like, I know you got it. And I know it'd be great, but Ja Rule's my guy. He asked me for a cheesesteak. I'm going to make a couple cheesesteaks.
Right.
And it's funny because I still love cooking. I love making people happy through food. One of my favorite days of the year is NFL Championship Sunday. Why? Because you don't just got one game, you got two. So when my boys come over, it's 8 hours of nonstop eating, football, drinking if you want, and it's just a hell of a day. And I'm talking every half hour, I'm making up another little Scooby snack. And I always have to tell these guys, you have no idea how much food I'm making. So when I give you the seafood chowder early on, I know you want that second serving, but I'm telling you not to.
Nice.
When I give you the meatball parm hero and I give you like a nice little wedge of it, I'm telling you not to. But sure enough, they all double down early on, and then later on, when I'm busting out, the sausage and peps and the cheesesteak, like I'm full. I'm like, you don't listen. You gotta listen.
Right.
I'll send you home with leftovers, but I know what I'm doing here. So I absolutely love cooking backyard barbecues. I always say my biggest pleasure is probably cooking in my house, and I work my ass off to do it.
Does your wife cook?
Very much, yeah. A little bit on the healthier side, but she's a beast.
How about the kids?
Yeah, listen. So
How old are kids?
recently, my daughter Amanda is at UMD and she's a sophomore. My son is a junior. Recently, you always wonder. You have how old are yours?
Mine are, so I have a senior at Alabama.
Nice.
I have a freshman at Montclair State, and then I have a sophomore at Ridgewood High School.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
21,
you're
18, 15.
So you always wonder if what you do and who you are, I guess, kind of pays off, rubs off on them. And recently, and I cook all the time, and I always got them involved. And Amanda and I, during COVID, started something called Cooking with the Capons on social media, and it was absolutely the silver lining for me of the pandemic because I was struggling with not being home every night as my kids got older. The pandemic hit, and it was, I say, the best thing that ever happened to me because it forced me to be home every night. I started cooking with my daughter. We started putting on Instagram, Cooking with the Capons. It brought a lot of joy, but it brought me a lot of joy because I bonded with my daughter. She's doing TikTok video dances in the middle of the cooking thing. Yeah. But what I never realized is that, you know what? She can cook.
Oh, good.
She can cook.
Do you want her to be in your industry?
I don't want her. Well, I want her to do what makes her happy, and I want her to follow her own path. But she recently cooked dinner for her boyfriend at my grandmother's house, and she's sending me videos of the dinner. I'm like amazing, killed it. My son recently for Valentine's Day, which I know as a restaurateur is a dumbass, not Valentine's Day, for his anniversary, which I know is a dumbass holiday to go out for. It's like Valentine's Day. So I said, Max, take a page out of my book, cook dinner at home. And I set him up for success, and they were able to hang out, and he made a shrimp scampi, and he made some grilled steaks, and made a beautiful dinner. So it has totally rubbed off. And I think that the biggest praise is I get it from my kids. Even I was driving with my son the other day, and we just got into a conversation, and he just looked at me and goes, Dad, I'm really proud of you. And that's something you normally say to your son.
Now I'm going to start welling up.
Yeah, you normally say that to your son.
That's what you do, yeah.
And I just looked at him and he was driving, and it just so happened somebody gave me a McLaren for the weekend. So it was like one of those moments you don't forget.
No big deal.
And he just looked at me and he knows, like, look, I'm very open. I'm very honest about where I'm going, where I've been, what I've been through. And he's like, I'm really proud of you, man. You really grind. You really work hard. Like I see it. And I think we all lead by example. And I think those are one of those moments that you don't forget.
Can I ask you, because what we've talked about so far has been highlights, right? Like places to go that you're proud of and all that stuff. When we had the conversation with Chef Greeny, I think he was one of the first people that we had on. And I said, you do have to have a little bit of a psychopath in you to own a restaurant, because there's a lot of pain that goes along with it. And for a lot of people, there's more failures than successes. What's your biggest failure then in this industry so far? And maybe it's not what people would think is a big failure, but one of the ones that really got to you.
Well, it's an interesting question. First off, I think it's a little bit crazy. Like, you asked me if I want my daughter to go into this business. I often tell people, before you go into this business, you got to know what you get yourself into. And part of my struggle a few years back when I mentioned not being at home was when you're in the restaurant business, it's a lot of nights, it's a lot of holidays, it's a lot of weekends. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of giving. You got to keep your giving and giving and giving. I'm always constantly taking care of everybody else. Mm-hmm. Luckily for me, like, I get what I need. And when I post a lot of reviews on my Instagram stories in the morning when people praise the meal that they had, I always say that's fuel in my tank. Like, that's what keeps me going. So that's one thing, just knowing what it takes to be in this business. I pitched a TV show to the Food Network years ago called Don't Quit Your Day Job, because I have had 30 plus people in their 30s to 40s to 50s. I want to be a chef. I hate my job. Right. I'm a lawyer. I'm an accountant. I'm a hedge fund, whatever they do. I hate my job. I want to be a chef. I go, great. Do me a favor. Before you take that leap of faith, and before you go enroll in some culinary school for a lot of money, and before you quit your day job, do me a favor. I want you to come to me 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. I want you to see what it takes. I want you to stand on your feet. I want you to spend the time in the hot kitchen. And I want you to really get your feet wet a little bit before you just dive into this and give up everything. 95% of them, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to keep cooking home for my friends and family because that's what I love to do. I said, you're welcome, because they just saved you a lot of money, and who knows if you ever get that job back. 5% of them went on to quit their day job and go to culinary school, or just come work for me and get the experience that they needed. And a couple of them, a buddy of mine from high school, Brian Staub, opened up a restaurant on the West Side. Okay. So I love to see that. But you have to be, I don't want to say psychopath, because I'm not a psychopath. I think I have massive ADD and everything that sometimes people refer to, whether it's ACD or whatever. I think it's my superpower. I see fucking everything. I'm in a dining room. I see everything to not, I don't say to a fault, because I don't think it's a fault. My job now is how to communicate to my team properly and effectively so they understand my downloads, and more importantly, how to see it before I do.
How do you let stuff then go off your back? Because when I say psychopath, every time I speak to people, particularly people who own restaurants in and around New York City, one of our other first guests was an old buddy of mine, Stratus Morphigan. And Stratus has been around in the restaurant scene. Yeah. And he's one of those guys that's had to fight the government like for certain things. And it seems to be like an uphill battle. You don't seem to see any of that negative stuff, or you do, and you just internalize it or let it roll off your back.
No, listen, I think I used to use the word daunting. I used to find things daunting. I don't find things daunting anymore, because I know that if you surround yourself, like I'll say it again, by good people, and everybody plays their role, and you respect everybody's position and responsibilities, you will get to the finish line. But then that's really where the hard work starts. It's like kids that are getting to college these days. How hard do you have to work to get into college? Really hard these days. These schools are very hard to get into. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? The real work starts when you get into college. And then when you graduate college, that's when the real work. So it never stops. I think you need to manage your time really well on a personal and a professional basis. I think a balance of life is very, very important. I was at the gym and spa this morning with my partner, Roddy. I work out for half an hour. Then I hit the steam room and the sauna and the jacuzzi and the cold plunge. And I swim 20 laps. That's an hour of my day. And you know what? It keeps me a little sane. It keeps me a little healthy. Right. Because once after that, my biggest battle right now, and I'm sure for everybody in doing what we do, my biggest battle right now is time. I don't have enough time.
Don't have enough.
My emails don't stop. My texts don't stop. The reservation requests don't stop. I just had a GM call me to interview a candidate to work at the front door. It doesn't stop. And again, I'm sure you feel between managing all that on a personal basis, managing the family, managing my friends. Like it's somebody I spoke to one of my best friends yesterday. She's like, you missed my birthday last week. I felt awful.
Yeah.
I felt awful.
Right.
But, and it was actually on my calendar. But like, I just hired an executive assistant. God bless you, Gina. Like
Gina, who I dealt with. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, she's lovely. And that's why when you say all this stuff, and I don't mean to blow you too much, but it's very, very nice for you to carve out time to just kind of come up here and shoot the shit. And I know it's good promotion and whatnot. And I give people a platform on this show to promote whatever they want. But I do realize that it ruins families. I mean, I know a lot of restaurateurs that wouldn't even think about starting a family because they can't dedicate the time. But when I say that your biggest failure, I was setting you up to talk about Frankenfood because I was such a fucking fan of that show. So you have a show that like comes together. And I know it's a little bit about 10 years ago. You put this out there. It was an entertaining show. There's no reason why it's not going on like the 35th season.
Before you get to Frankenfood, because you just hit on something else. We get to Frankenfood in a second.
Go.
Which I don't view as a failure, by the way. But
no, but go ahead.
But I don't know where you were going with but when you talk about time and everything like that, part of my journey, if you will, that started probably 5 years ago when I left the group that I was with for 20 years. Part of the journey started internally when I was suffocating and I was feeling a lot of regret about not being home on a regular basis, especially at night when my kids were home with my wives in high school, junior high, and feeling like I wasn't giving enough as a father. And one thing my wife said to me, again, Lori, I freaking love you because she always keeps it real with me. I expressed to her, like I'm this is how I'm feeling. Like I'm not present enough, like I'm not around. She's like, Josh, I'll tell you something right now. She's like, just understand this. She's like, yeah, you might not be home Monday through Thursday nights or whatever it is, and you work nights, but I'll tell you this, man. When you are home, you're present. She's like, I know come Saturday, Sunday mornings, if that's when you're off, like you're up with the kids, you're taking them out to breakfast, you're taking them to ball games. If you have to be home, she's like, I give you a lot of credit because with all that you have going on, she always said to me that when I need you to be or when you are on your own, you're present. And she's like, look, I just know that there are a lot of dads that are home every night, but they're not.
Right.
They're on their phones, they're watching their TV shows, they're in their office. Are they spending time with their kids? No. So what's the difference if I'm home or not if I'm not going to be present with my kids anyway? Now my kids are a little bit older. It was funny in those first 2 years of COVID. It was like, Dad's home. 2.5 years later, like, go back to work, please. We've had enough of you. Like, because I'm like, let's hang out. Yeah. Let's play Rummy Cube. Let's watch a movie. Like, please, just leave us alone.
I thought your wife was going to be like, listen, you're all gas, no brakes. I could use the fucking break for me every now and again.
Even with her, like, I come home at night, we hang out for a little bit. Very often I sleep in the guest room because I snore like a beast.
Oh, do you really?
And she wants a good night's sleep. Like, you don't snore large. Really? You
no, I used to go CPAP. Do you do the CPAP at all?
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
changed my life.
We are still very romantically involved, and we spent a couple nights a week together.
Me and you? Oh no, you and your wife. You went back.
But during the week, like we hang out for a little bit. We lay in bed with Cody for a little bit. We catch up on the day. I go into the guest room. Sometimes Cody comes with me. Sometimes Cody does it because that's who we both want to spend the night with. Sure. Is Cody. I watch a little Sports Center. I spend an hour answering emails and DMs and putting up my Instagram story. Then I pass out cold anyway. Right. And I'm not getting poked. You ever get poked in the side? So roll over. Yeah. I don't need to get poked, and she doesn't need to wake up. So luckily, I have a guest room.
Yeah.
So yes, that's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't you agree though that if you are going to be present as a dad, I try to tell people this all the time. I've been on sidelines for my kids' sporting events and in the crowd for my daughter's plays and shows. And I've been, we've done everything that we can together. But when I make a meal for my kids, that's the most present that I am with them. Love. Like, and to get around a table, and we're the type where it's like, all right, give us the phones, because it's 45 minutes, right? And so we sit down.
Listen, we know you can't emphasize that enough. If you're going to spend time together, spend the time together. But you go on, yeah?
And it's just the food thing that does it for me. And I think that's, I started as just like, I did some line chef work and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just an at-home cook who's very good at it.
Love.
And I think that it's probably something when I give my daughter a perfectly soft-boiled egg and some toast, like even something in just a nice pot of tea, and she's like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed. I don't think I could do that by getting a new pair of shoes or getting her a fucking pair of earrings or getting her something like that.
You're literally feeding the soul, and obviously you're hitting a chord with me because I'm going to get emotional again. But there's no, and look, I did a lot of virtual content. I did a lot of virtual cooking classes during the pandemic. And I started like companies, again, I went from being on my ass during the pandemic because restaurants were closed. All of a sudden I saw this virtual content, virtual cooking classes. Companies were paying me a lot of money to literally curate boxes of food. So I would curate a 3-course menu, and I still do it, by the way, if anybody's interested, because it's actually, I always say it was born out of the pandemic, but it's here to stay. It's great. It's great. It's a great way to connect with your teams, your families, whoever it is. I curate a box of food. We send it out on Monday. Everybody gets it on Tuesday. We cook on Wednesday. I always start off with every class by saying, what did Whitney Houston teach us?
Don't do crack.
Right. A lot of people do say that first. Then after that, she said, I believe the children are our future. Yeah. Teach them well and let them lead the way. So I always encourage people. I say, hey, if your kids are home, man, go grab them because we're going to have some fun. Yeah. I'm going to keep this PG. I don't curse. Like, get your kids down here, because what I tried to teach people is I remember a lot of like, come set the table. Clean up the dishes.
Yeah, it's a
That's
chore.
Not fun.
It's a chore. Dinner
should not be a chore. So if I'm going to cook dinner, until this day, and I hope you do too, when you're cooking that soft poached egg, you don't just say, hey, your dinner's ready. Hey, your lunch is ready. Come down. No. And I don't need you to clean the table. You should. But I want you to be involved. I want to have conversations. I want to be talking like my dad. May rest in peace, because he was the fucking best. Cooking is an activity. It's fun. I always tell people, when you entertain at home, I don't want to show up to your house and see a bunch of food laying on the table.
Right.
Maybe there could be some chilled shrimp cocktail on the table, but like as you're cooking, I want to be part of it. I want to be involved in a cooking show. I want, like, one of my favorite things to cook is like a grilled ciabatta with fresh ricotta and honey and mint and rosemary. Like, I don't want that sitting on the table getting crusty. No, I want you grabbing the ciabatta off the grill, and I want you to hand it to me while it's still warm. Like little things like that. If you're searing a steak, like you can pour sear ahead of time, but like my son Max was like, I'm in the mood for steak frites. Like, oh, steak frites? Sure. I'll pull out some Pat LaFreda skirt steaks from the refrigerator downstairs and cut some, and they made them fresh fries, a Pat LaFreda grilled skirt steak. He wanted a little truffle mayo, like, and I go, do you have any idea, dude, what just happened here? Right. Like, like
what I just did to you?
Do you understand? Yeah. Like, I'm going to go to work now,
right?
But you just got a grade A, properly seared, and like, it's funny because like, I don't like my trainer literally just came over today for lunch, and I gave him a bowl of seafood chowder that I made on Sunday, which was amazing. Actually, I made a fresh one yesterday, and it was funny. I gave him a muffaletta sandwich. I made some muffaletta sandwiches, right? You know what a muffaletta sandwich is?
I do. Okay, what's more fucking muffaletta than you?
What's the key ingredient in muffaletta?
Top enough.
Thank you, God, large. You and I.
Is strong.
You and I. So
yeah, but no, hold on, stop the. I'm insulted. Just so you know, this guy. And
I just got to make sure.
We're fucking strangers.
Listen, we met 10 minutes ago.
But he's like, it's muffaletta, MUFF.
Yes, the olive salad.
You know what? The first time.
So you know what's great about this guy? This guy Dylan. He's a great trainer. He eats like an 8-year-old. He likes, anyway. First he comes over, I give him the seafood chowder. He says, I've never had crab before. He's tasting this. He's like, hey, this is pretty good. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why it's $75 a pound. Okay, great. And then I give him this muffaletta sandwich fresh out of the oven. I like them warm, not typically warm, but I do like a warm muffaletta. And he's eating this muffaletta. He goes, wow, this is a really good sandwich. I go, you like it? He goes, yeah. I go, and something he goes, but he goes, I hate pickles, I hate olives, and I hate mayonnaise. Right? I don't say a damn word. I'm perfectly waiting.
Destroyed it.
Large. Destroyed the sandwich.
Yes.
Now I'm sitting next to him eating an egg white omelet because I've been eating seafood chowder and steak sandwich for the last 3 days. Mm-hmm. I said, by the way, you don't like pickles? He goes, no. I go, you don't like olives, right? He goes, no. I go, you don't like mayonnaise? No. I go, Lori, do me a favor. I go, will you pull me out the bottle of muffaletta spread and my pint of my vinaigrette? She goes, yeah. I put this muffaletta spread in front of him. I go, you don't like olives? I go, you know what's in there? He goes, chopped olives. I go, and it was in every bite, spread perfectly even on top of your sandwich.
Yeah.
I said, do you like olives or not? Because stop living like an 8-year-old. I said, you don't like mayo? So I showed him this vinaigrette, one of my key ingredients when I make an Italian stallion hero, by the way.
Please.
I'm a big fan. By the way, I got to tell you something.
By the way, I'm interrupting you.
I feel bad.
Parmesan crusted focaccia that comes out to the table with the ricotta, honey, and the rosemary. Yeah. That focaccia, you give me that in half. half and you make a muffaletta, even though it doesn't have the dome to it.
Large. I gotta tell you something.
It's got some blood flow.
I gotta tell you two things. First of all, people bitch about having to pay for that bread service. That's not bread service. That's fresh baked 48-hour focaccia ricotta. You want free bread service and you want some stale bread with some butter pats and a thing that ice cold.
Butter pats that are fucking frozen.
Ice cold.
Yeah.
So by the way, you're speaking my language because I told my chef team 2 days ago. We have those every night. We have a few left over, or we don't. Very often we chop them into croutons. I'm like, guys, start taking these breads. I want you to package them into muffalettas, which are pressed, and I want you to press them on the griddle and toast them. We're going to whack these things into 4, 6, or 8. I'll give them away free at the bar. Because people buy more drinks. How about a chicken parm in there?
Jesus, yeah, I would do it. I mean, you got me on the roundness of it. So that's why I went right to muffaletta, and it just kind of it. But yeah, chicken parm in there.
How about any sandwich?
I like the long semolina, I would do a fucking tuna melt on that. To be quite honest with you, look at me, I'm spitting onto the fucking microphone.
My point is, anyway. So one of my favorite sandwiches. Is the Italian stallion, which is the classic Italian hero. Instead of the olive spread, you got shredded lettuce, tomato, red onion. When I make my red wine vinaigrette for that, what the reason why Dylan doesn't like mayo, and a lot of people don't, is like that creamy white substance just doesn't sit well with people. The first time I made mayonnaise in culinary school, I stopped eating mayonnaise because when you see the egg yolks emulsify with the oil and it just turns white, you can picture that stuff in your veins. Now, I went 6 months eating turkey cloves with mustard. Finally, I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
I want mayonnaise. I fucking love it. But one of the things I do, and you should do this at home, is you take a plastic container, equal parts red wine vinegar and olive oil, and then a few tablespoons of mayo and a little bit of Dijon mustard, and you shake the shit out of it, and it emulsifies. So it becomes a rich and creamy red wine vinaigrette. And I always say you soak that into the bread before you lay it on that meats and cheeses. So he's eating the sandwich, and now I have the olive salad in front of him. I have the red wine vinaigrette. I said, you still don't like mayo? And he's like, oh, maybe. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I can tell you too, like I put anchovies in so many bases of my sauces now.
You just can't tell anybody.
People
can't tell anybody.
They won't eat it if I tell them what's in it.
You can't tell them.
And it's nothing that I'm ashamed of.
It's salty, it's umami, which is one of my least favorite words.
Yeah, it's just next level though.
So Caesar salad, do you like when the anchovies are hanging over the top?
I love when the anchovies are on top.
The buccaronis?
I love Alige. I love anchovies. Give it to me all fucking day. But if you're going to make it table side, the dressing with the anchovies, awesome. You could just rest a couple on my forehead if you want to. I'm an anchovies guy.
The Spanish ones, which are buccaronis, which are the really clean white anchovies, are amazing. But we used to do Caesar salads with the JP on the top. Most people don't want that.
Right.
They just don't even know what's in there. So I stopped doing that. You want them on the side. I got plenty in the back, but I eat those like snacks.
What about this tin fish revolution that's going on?
Yeah, my wife was big into the tin fish. I have tin fish framed, and I have 3 tins of fish. We went on my buddy's 40th, Andrew Goldberg. We went to Portugal, which is very popular for tin fish. Listen, it's having a moment. Am I whipping out a can of I don't know. I'd rather steam some mussels or steam some clams, but there are some very good products out there, which, my wife was on eating sardines for a little while out of a can and the clam mussels. And listen, some of that product is very good because they're packed in their prime. Same thing like canned tomatoes.
Yeah.
They are packed in their prime. You're never going to get a perfect sandwich on a tomato like you do out of a can when it's packed in season. So, yeah.
What do you think? And I tell people all the time, if you're not a sardine or an anchovy thing, because it does have a stigma to it. I was a young guy. I was taking customers out. I think it was at the Water Club, and I had white anchovies for the first time that they'd served.
That's buccaronis.
Yeah, and it had that sweetness to it.
They're just much like when you think anchovies. When you think
a little hairy, salty.
Yeah, when you talk bucrones, which are Spanish white anchovies, it's a different breed altogether.
Yeah,
one of my favorite cooking memories. So. One of my dad's greatest gifts was he always encouraged me to leave the nest. He always said, I've always wanted to travel the world, and cooking became my passport. I realized after going to cooking school, I can go anywhere and get a job and cook. It's a trade, it's a skill. So I've always dreamed of going to Italy, which was a dream of mine to cook. I always say I was Italian in a former life, and I think I was Mexican before that.
What are you?
Jewish Greek.
Okay.
Sephardic Jew. So I've always wanted to travel the world. 1994, I was working for David Burke. I had the opportunity to go to Germany. Not my first choice, but the opportunity was there. I jumped on it, did an exchange with a chef from Germany, started off in Germany, eventually made my way to Senegalia, which is on the tip of Italy, down by the Adriatic Sea.
Okay.
I worked in a restaurant called Madonna del Pescatore, which was a 1-star Michelin, which a crazy chef, awesome guy. Literally, the restaurant was across the street from the Adriatic Sea. And I'm telling you that I used to watch fishermen come up on these little boats with cuttlefish, with these different fish that you've never even seen here before, in buckets. Like we're talking like like it was such. First of all, I learned a lot about myself, which I'm very thankful for my dad. You want to learn about yourself, travel the world, spend time by yourself, keep journals, all that kind of stuff. That's how you really become the man or woman that you want to be one day. And it's great to see all these kids traveling abroad now. We didn't have this whole thing when we were there. I mean, my nephew right now is in Florence or Madrid. And like, I just encourage, I said, just make sure you don't go there as a dopey college student. Go there and immerse yourself. My two nieces, Alex and Carly, spent significant time in Florence. And it was such a pleasure and joy walking into not the tourist trap restaurants, but the local restaurants. They were greeted like granddaughters.
Right.
I cried. The first restaurant we walked into, my nieces were literally welcomed by the owners and sat at the table in the back, which was like reserved for family. They just immersed themselves in the culture, and it was amazing to see. Like, learn how to say prego, make an effort to speak their language, like go off the beaten path a little bit. So I see a lot of kids doing this. Life changing. So I'm working in this restaurant in Italy, which I'll never forget. It was some of the most incredible food I've ever seen. And me being there was like, it was just a dream come true. So the chef tested me. I knew what he was doing. Every day I would show up to work, and he pulled out this styrofoam box of sardines, fresh sardines. There must have been 1 million sardines in this box. These little tiny silverfish, right? And he said to me, clean the sardines, and you have to pull off the head with your fingers, by the way. And he didn't even give me gloves. So you're pulling off the head, you're splitting down the back, you're pulling out the 2 fillets. It's awful. It's awful. They stink. And literally, he's not giving you plastic gloves because they don't even have them over there because they're not going to spend money on gloves. Right. By the way, 18 showers later, you can wash your hands all you want.
You're still sweating.
Yeah, Ian's still cracking up over there. Yeah. You smell like
my first girlfriend.
Yes, yeah. I don't want to say it. Sorry. Anyway, so this is like 8 days in, 9 days in, and I'm just like, and by the way, whatever job you have, and this is very important because this is something you learn in the restaurant business. But whatever task you're given, whether it's peel a case of onions, whether it's chop a case of potatoes, you do it. You do it fast, you do it precise, you clean up after yourself, and you say, what's next? Mm-hmm. When somebody gives you a case of onions to peel and Julie, whatever, you don't say, oh shit, I got to peel the onions and fucking go into third gear.
Classically trained.
You plow through it. And then you say, what's next? What's next? When I interviewed for my externship at Oriel, which was the top restaurant in New York City at the time by Chef Charlie Palmer, another mentor of mine that I have a ton of respect for, there were 19 applicants for this internship. Yeah. I was at Johnson & Wales University. I was the 5th kid to trail, right? You trail, you spend the day. They check you out, you check them out. The end of the trail, Charlie Palmer comes up to me. He says, you want the internship or not? He goes, I like what I see. If you want it, it's yours. So I showed enough for this guy to say, you want it, it's yours. And I said, yes, chef, I want it. Done. Locked and loaded. One of my best friend's sons, Jake Prussian, just did an internship last summer in his junior year of college with a big financial firm. At the end of the summer, going into his senior year, they said, you got a job with us the day you graduated college. That's what I'm talking about. You hear, yeah. That's what it takes. So for my internship back at Johnson & Wales, I set the tone early. Do the jobs. Don't just drag ass. Walk in, say, hey, I'm ready. You're supposed to be there.
Is it tougher finding that for people that work for you now? Oh my God. Because there's a lot more.
Dude, Generation Z, you need to wake the fuck up.
You
I'm
guys
sorry.
are going to get mad because
I'm sorry.
The 2 old guys are
I'm
about
sorry.
to start talking about kids
people
nowadays.
People are trying to find.
But isn't it tough? Like,
people are looking for the easy way out. People are looking for the quick buck. There's a lot of noise out there. Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. You know, my son taught me a term the other day, 3 days ago. He said to me, Dad, stop doom scrolling. I go, what does that mean? He goes, you're doom scrolling. And now I got to tell you, we are all guilty of it.
100%.
We're all guilty of it. It's got to stop. But I also know when I'm on my phone, and maybe not, I like to say I use social media as a work tool. I use it as a platform. Too. It's also an excuse. Yeah. But we really, and like, you know, I was with a girl last night who told me, she's like, I took a break from social media. I'm like, oh, really? Did you? But obviously, she's like, yeah, I needed to. I had 2 hours in bed every night looking at shit I don't need to be looking at. It's a waste of my time. She's like, and by the way, I get it. And I'm guilty of it. I put on SportsCenter when I go to bed every night. And next thing I'm like, I'm on my phone between emails, DMs. It's different. But my point was going back to the anchovies. So I'm peeling cases and cases of anchovies day in and day out. First job every day. Before I got to peel tomatoes.
Okay.
Right. Then I got to peel tomatoes, potatoes. This was the shittiest of all jobs. So I'll never forget this moment. And I use it as a learning lesson because the chef walks up to me. He looks at me, he goes, in his broken Italian English, he goes, I don't understand. He goes, why are you so happy? He goes, you're cleaning anchovies, but every day you have this smile on your face. Why? Like, meaning anybody else would be bitching and moaning. I'm cleaning anchovies. Like, enough of this shit. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, it's like.
What's the answer?
It's like playing catcher. Yeah. Somebody's got to play catcher.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wasn't a great athlete. I played catcher. My son played catcher too. You know what? I go. I remember. So he says to me, "I don't." He goes, and it was like one of those moments that forever be engraved in my memory bank. Why are you so happy? And his broker's, why you're cleaning anchovies? And I looked at him. I go, Chef, what you don't understand is I'm cleaning anchovies in Italy in a 1-star Michelin restaurant across the street from the Adriatic Sea.
Yeah.
I go, this is a dream come true. He looked at me. I'm going to cry. I'm telling you, emotional wreck. He looked at me. He gave me this nod. I finished the job. I never cleaned anchovies again.
Really? Okay.
I got upgraded to peeling tomatoes.
Yeah, so
but you know what? I'll peel potatoes any day of the week. Yeah. My hands, 3 weeks later, my hands stopped smelling like, I was just like, I finally moved on. But it's like one of those things, like you just have to do it. And whatever you do, you know, you got to do it to the best. You got to eyes wide open, eyes wide open. Like, and you know, like my son is amazing. Sometimes I call him out for not being like, you went downstairs to play video games. Did you notice all the shit that was on top of the stairs that probably needs to go downstairs? Yeah. Did you notice the 2 cases of water that could have been put in the fridge? Like, just go above and beyond. Just help out. Be a mensch. Like, it takes all hands on deck. It takes a village. There's a famous poem, be the best at what you can be, or be the best. And I was just saying, like, we all can't be, you know, the president. We can't be their generals. Like if you're a brush by the side of the hill, just be whatever your job is. Just do. I was a dishwasher. My first job was a dishwasher. Let me tell you something. I don't want to be a dishwasher, but I was a damn good dishwasher. Mm-hmm. My partner Connor says the same thing. Like, I was a damn good dishwasher. My station was clean. I didn't break anything. Silverware didn't go in the garbage. I didn't bitch and moan the whole time. Yeah. I treated my station like I treated my station. Yeah. And I learned at an early age, you know what? No matter what it is, you got to be the best at what you can be.
What is your dad? Like, what was your dad's back? Because you've referred back to your dad a couple of times. I'm embarrassed then that I don't know your dad. Was your dad a huge restaurateur?
My dad and my mom started a nursery school and day camp together. They were both teachers. They started a nursery school and day camp together. Then my dad was a teacher, and then he went to commercial real estate. They got divorced at a very young age. He moved into the city. I had the best of both worlds. I grew up with my mom and my incredible stepfather Norman, who I always said was having I had like the Tom Brady of backup quarterbacks.
Okay.
I mean, I got so fucking lucky because granted I had a dad, but I had a backup quarterback as good as Tom Brady, who we all know how good Tom Brady was. Right. I lost my dad 5 years ago. I still got another QB looking out for me. So I'm very blessed. But my dad was special in the sense that he just loved cooking. He loved traveling. He loved entertaining. He loved people. He literally was Charlie Charming, gave me the gift of gab. And I realize now that it's a real skill to be able to walk into a room. I don't give a shit who's in it. I'll light the place up.
Right.
I'm not intimidated by anything. I don't care. You tell me blah, blah, blah. Great. How you doing, Chef Capon?
But is that true, or are you saying that for the camera? Because you do have a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of people. Have you all of a sudden been like, Chef, turn around and meet Large? Yeah, what's up, Large? And go on to dinner. But as it turn around, you'd be like, holy shit, there's Dolly Parton. Like, is there somebody who's starstruck you?
Yeah,
I'm a big Dolly Parton fan, so I went right to that.
I don't say anything for the camera. I think I am very true and authentic to who I am. I'm at 53 years old. I am seeing things more clearly than I ever have in my entire life. I am on point. I am in tune. I am one with the universe.
Right.
I don't say that cockily. I say that confidently. I mean, I've been through 3 executive coaches in the last 4 years. I am working hard to be the best version of myself, and I think it's important that we all do. But I mean that because I'm not trying to be anybody else. I am very comfortable in my own skin.
Right.
I am very comfortable with who I surround myself with, and there was a time when I looked down on the hospitality industry, and now I think it's absolutely wonderful. I do. I think if you have ADD or whatever it may be, or if you can't wake up early, if you don't wear like one of my favorite things, you see the shirt I'm wearing?
Yeah.
I have 20 of them. Remember the movie 9.5 Weeks?
Yeah.
Remember Mickey Rourke?
Absolutely.
Remember he wore the same suit every day?
Yeah.
I don't have to think about what I wear.
It's just,
and the best now is this bridges the gap between
9.5 weeks, by the way, is a little bit perverted. Just so you know, you get into Kim Basinger, Bassinger, whatever it is. Ian doesn't know.
Yeah.
They got some food. By the way, they got some food involved in that one too. So make sure you go check that out. Yeah.
But my point is, like, I wear this now because it bridges the gap between in the kitchen, on the dining room floor. I used to throw on a chef jacket when I walked into the restaurant.
It does simplify.
You know what? I'm not really cooking in the kitchen, but I still am Chef Capon. I wore this thing on a celebrity chef cruise line, and all my chef friends were like, yo, where'd you get that shirt?
Right.
Well, Lululemon, by the way, you should be sponsoring me. It's ridiculous that you're not.
Out, yeah.
I bought 20 of these. They keep charging, and I did the embroidery myself. Gina helped me, and like literally, I just have to keep them coming from the dry cleaner. But I just pull it on my Lululemon pants, pair of kicks. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're out.
Let's go.
Can I talk to you, since you own so many restaurants? You have a very vested interest in the fact that Zagat's, New York Times, all those places that used to be in my old industry, we had the Zagat's next to our desks, and it was the Bible for us as far as going down on where we were going to go. That is gone. Like, crazy. People don't need to go to these higher end palates to see. As a matter of fact, I've gone to restaurants with people that I think are questionable human beings tell me about it on social media. How do you go from somebody who wants to wait at the door for the Michelin guy to come in and know all the little things that we see in the movies to a guy that says, oh, Jesus, some fucking fat, bald idiot named Large is coming to my restaurant. I'd like to make sure that it's a good thing, because more people are going to see that than they'll see fucking the New York Times review.
It's a great question. It's something I think about a lot. The power has shifted.
It has.
The power has shifted. You're talking about a kid who grew up waiting to read the dining out section in the Wednesday New York Times every week.
Yeah.
My dad, I used to come home. I lived with my dad at the time. Every Wednesday I'd come home. The dining section would be on my bed in his apartment. I'd read it, and then I literally would throw it underneath my mattress to the point where my mattress was raised up.
Just that all.
I always dreamed of getting that review in the New York Times. It was a goal of mine. Now the power has shifted because in print, whatever you want to say, Zagat's, I remember Zagat's.
Yeah.
The Infatuation bought Zagat's.
Yep.
And now the Infatuation, their media platform is far superior.
They do a great job.
They do a great job. Andrew and his crew and all that stuff that they do, like, incredible. And then EatCon, all that kind of stuff. Yep. And they do dinners on the court at MSG. Andrew, I'd really like to do one of those, by the way. You know, I love you. I've asked you before. They do an incredible job. But by the way, do they even still make the Zagat's Guide? Is that still?
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
I saw it in a Barnes and Noble.
This goes to crazy. I don't even know, like, when maybe there's.
I saw it in a Barnes and Noble years ago.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's cool that that's still around. So we used to wait for the new one to come out, with the stars and whatnot.
And every Wednesday, dining out section and the reviews. I think the reviews got obnoxious. I think a lot of it was for clickbait. But now social media influencers carry a lot of weight. You know, I had the VIP list girls in my restaurant last night.
Okay.
These two girls are just a lot of fun. They're good energy. They're hilarious. They keep it real. You know, go cry about it. But you know what? They're honest. They know what they like.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Flay is interviewing a lot of influencers now on his new podcast, Bobby by the Beat. Just making sure they know their shit, because you can't just call yourself an influencer if you're not. But I will tell you, I reach out to a lot of them. I have a very good relationship with some of them. They move the needle. Eating New York, like, I delivered food when I wanted to get delivery up and running at Little Maven. I called my girl Alexa and I was like, hey, can I deliver food to your house? Like, film it? She's like, yeah, great. Like, most of them are very, very, very inviting and hospitable, and, you know, Sister Snacking, all of them. Like, they have big platforms. I'm telling you, they post something, it moves
the needle.
The needle.
Yes.
It moves the needle.
I can tell you.
Because whether it's 10,000, 5,000, 50,000, and it's actually the ones with the smaller ones usually move the needle more, because the millions, I don't know how many of those people are real. The smaller audiences or engagement tend to move the needle more. Like, you watch the one thing you posted, every one of your followers, and I have no idea how many you have, they're real.
Yes,
and they
they're
follow
not
your
bots.
shit.
Yeah.
They're not bots. And I get 20 DMs a day saying, "Hey, we really like to grow your product. You should have more." I'm like, I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care how many I have. I just want to make sure that they like. It's again, I have a love-hate relationship with social media, but people follow my stories like it's a sitcom. You know, when I don't post Cody for 2 days, people are like, "Yo, where's Cody?"
Right.
We want to see Cody go to bed.
miss
I go. People come into the restaurant, they're like, "How's Cody?" And it's funny. And people say, "Oh, I'm embarrassed to ask you." I'm like, well, when you put the time, and literally, I probably spend an hour to an hour and a half, if not more, because I'm passing out usually, putting together my stories at the end of the night because I don't do it during the day. I don't do it when I'm in the moment. I try and savor the moment, but I capture the content. You put effort into it. Same with your reviews. You know, I just met Heidi, the food czar. Like, she was amazing. She took the time. I did a podcast with her. Like, if you put the time and energy to put it out there, you want it to be received. You want it to be appreciated. I think it's really important.
I think it also is it's a necessary evil, but by far. But I also think that it gets abused a lot too. It does get abused with paying people to come through, and then
it's got to be real. If you're getting paid, like most of the influencers I know, they don't really do that. They're not going to get paid.
The good ones.
Yeah, the good ones. And hopefully it comes back around because they deserve it.
Yeah.
And it's not always a free meal, but like, don't pay somebody to say, "Hey, this is great," when you're like. And the other problem I have with Instagram food is like when somebody's building a dish just for Instagram and it looks awful. It's impossible to eat, and they're putting 85 scoops of ice cream on the ice cream cones that were like this. Who's eating that? Like that's it's when it gets gross with the pancakes. It's enough. I was going to say something else.
Pancakes.
Well, look at Portnoy with the pizza reviews.
Yeah, I have to.
Anybody, we spoke earlier. Love Dave, ton of respect for Dave. I don't think he gets enough credit and praise for what he has done and still does for the small businesses during the pandemic. You know, that piece of shit that said whatever that guy was that called him out, told him to get out of the front of the store. You don't know whatever you do for small businesses. The money that he raised, and just if he goes to your restaurant,
tens of millions of dollars
overnight. Yeah, I have a friend that's in the pizza business, and I told him, I said, "Dude, he's coming. You know what? He came, didn't get the pie he should have got because this guy took off." And I said, "I hope you had a good reason for taking off that day.
You fucked up.
Because you're coming from a guy that I told you. I even put the place on his radar, not that I needed to, but it's like a New York Times review. Anybody in the restaurant business, a real chef, a real owner, when I opened up Lure Fish Bar and Barry Meat Company, like, you don't take a day off until the review comes out. I remember my birthday was at La Bernardin, and my wife said to me, "Finally, just take the night off. It's your birthday." I'm having dinner at La Bernardin. I got the call. He's here. Pete Wells showed up.
Oh, really?
And I just got nauseous. Yeah. It was too late for me to run down there. You got to trust your team, but you just don't take a practice off until you win the Super Bowl. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
love my Giants when they were on the boat. When they were on the boat partying, like, no, you party after. I have a ton of serious athletes that come into my restaurant, and you got to remember, dude, I'm 53 years old. Mm-hmm. I've seen it all. I've seen the athletes throw it away. When I get close with guys, I go, "Guys, do me a favor, don't stop." Mm-hmm. Deuce McBride started coming to Little Maven. Awesome cat, good dude. The crew that he comes in with, good people. You surround yourself by good people, good things happen. And I remember the first time he came in, the second time in, I become friendly with these guys, I get my number, I go, anytime you need anything here, any other place. When I met Deuce, I think he was averaging 6-8 points a game, but whatever it was. I said, "Deuce, do me a favor, every time I see you," and I'm not his coach. Right. I said, "Dude, every time I see you, I need your points average per game to go up." Dude, you're in New York City. You're in the basketball mecca of the world. Dude, you have an opportunity. Your boys will always be here. But when you're an NBA champion, you trust me. It also, like, Strahan was in my restaurant yesterday for lunch. Once you got that ring, then you can do anything the hell you want.
Then you can kick
back.
But
you got to get there. And I freaking love Deuce because the guy works hard. I think he's starting. Mm-hmm. Point average went up. They just won, in Vegas they won. Like, this guy is a baller. Yeah. He's a baller. And when he comes in, like, he's not drinking. He knows it's the game. It's the season. When I see guys come in and, like, they got a game the next day, I'm like, I ain't gonna. Sometimes I do, depending on my relationship with them. But take your craft seriously. So then, I'm going to ask you your opinion on me, because I will tell you that I'm 54. I'm older than you. And I was not put on this earth at this point to be a goalie. Like, I don't want to stop anyone from being able to do anything. I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to blow anybody's candle out to make mine shine brighter. None of that shit. So if I go to a restaurant for "you got to try this," and I don't like it,
I shit can the review. I don't put it out.
I have so much respect
But
for you.
I don't do it because like sometimes that guy whose pizza parlor, Dave showed up on an off day and he wasn't there. He didn't get the pie. So that guy probably got a 7.2 when he should have got a 7.8. And so if Dave goes back, maybe then that would be the real score. I don't want to do that to a mom and pop. I didn't tell you when I was going to Capon's.
First of all, I love you for that because it goes back to when you're a kid. What your mom used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'll refer to this review. Pete Wells, former critic of the New York Times, years ago, reviewed Guy Fieri's restaurant in Times Square. I don't know if you remember this.
I do.
This is years ago. Have you know how many stars he gave him?
Trash can nachos. Oh, no, I don't remember the review. I'm sorry.
He gave him 0 stars.
Okay.
Now, here's what I have to say about that. Guy Fieri is one of the most wonderful people in the entire world, especially in the culinary community, and does more for more chefs. The guy, when you go on one of his shows, he coaches you the entire show on how to be better on camera because most chefs are not used to it. Short, precise quotes. Give me something I can work with. He's constantly working with everybody around him to make them better. His restaurants are great. So my point is what he's done for philanthropy. He does knuckle sandwich. They go everywhere and they're cooking. Like he does good work. He takes his platform and makes the world a better place. Yes, he opened up a place called Guy's American Bar in Times Square. Okay, in Times Square. Why did the New York Times food critic have to give it a 0-star review? Because here's what I say. Nobody that reads the New York Times is probably going to Guy Fieri's restaurant.
In Times Square,
and nobody that reads that go in Guy Fieri's restaurant reads the New York Times. So what did you do it for? For shits and giggles? Like you thought you'd have some fun. You had some fun at his expense. It made you feel good about yourself. Yeah, because I'll tell you something else. It didn't. Guy could laugh it off. I'm sure he was probably pissed. But there was probably some restaurant with some young chef or a mom and pop operation that really could have used that review and be acknowledged for all their hard work to say, hey, you know what? This is a restaurant worth going to. Not for you to take up a page in the New York Times to write a 0-star review from a very famous chef that makes more money. For what? For your ego?
Yeah.
For your ego? Because that's the kind of shit I have a problem with. So if you don't have anything nice to say, in the VIP list girls, they wrote some, they had such a crazy experience that they had to. And sometimes if it's real and it's honest, you can't always just say everything's great, everything's great, everything's great. But at the same time, you have to keep it real and you have to keep it honest.
If you refer to Bobby Flay and you say how Bobby Flay is the guy, you refer to Guy Fieri and you say how Guy Fieri is the guy. What's your Rushmore? What's for these television personalities, Food Network and beyond, who's on your Rushmore for those guys? Because I'm an old school Justin Wilson, Table Spoons, Frugal Gourmet, like that type of stuff. The original Iron Chef with, Masahiro Morimoto.
Okay.
So you go all the way up to now. Yeah. Who's the Rushmore?
Listen, I've already mentioned Bobby, Guy, Michael Simon, 3 of my tops for personal and professional reasons. Professionally, just incredible what they've done, and personally have been mentors, have been friends, have been guiding lights. Guy, I shot a TV show with Guy. We shot a show called what was it called?
What show?
Best in Town.
Okay.
We shot a TV show called Best in Town, and I was one of the hosts. And you went into a town, you found the best food in that town. During the shoot, I was out in California in 2 different remote cities. And during the first shoot, we wrapped on a Tuesday, and I had to be back on Friday.
Okay.
The 2 cities were 8 hours away. I was flying home the next morning and flying back 2 days later, East Coast, West Coast.
Okay.
I'm shooting a shit with a guy on the sideline he's like, so what's your story? What are you doing the next few days? I know we're shooting in wherever we were. I said, I'm actually flying back tomorrow and I'm flying back on Thursday. He looked at me like, what? And he looked at me and goes, why don't you just stay in my guest house? And I looked at him, I go, Guy, if you're being serious, I would love to. I don't need to fly home to fly back, save your company money. He goes, dude, he literally called his wife, got her on the phone, gave me the garage code.
Gentlemen.
Those are the things, those are the things that you don't forget.
Right.
And literally, I showed up at his ranch, garage code in. His wife Lori's waiting for me, guest house downstairs. And he even went one step further, which I won't forget. So I'm sitting in the guest house, down at the bottom of the hill. It's beautiful. It's got everything I need. His house is at the top. I'm like, all right, what do I do now? As soon as he got home from work, he's like, yo, come up to the house. again, another. So,
of course.
You know, what are you doing for dinner? What are you doing for dinner? You hungry? I've been eating all day. I'm not hungry, but you want to order something? And we ordered a couple things. Next morning, yo, meet me up here at 8 o'clock. We're going to work out together. Worked out together. Yo, we're going to hit he has a sauna and a cold plunge on the property. We're sitting in the sauna together. You're in the cold plunge. I'm going to time you for 3 minutes. Let's hit the pool. You know, when you talk about hospitality, and again, I get emotional because I've been doing this for a long time. It's not about the food. You want to be a great chef. It's not about the food that you put on the plate. It's the way you make people feel. And this guy made me feel, I'm going to cry. This guy made me feel so welcome when I was far from home. It was the highlight of my summer. Not shooting a show with Guy Fieri, not being on the Food Network, being welcome into his home and being every morning we went for a hike. When Antonio LaFaso came to spend a couple of nights, we went for a hike with the dogs. And like, it was just like, and the highlight of the whole trip, by the way, so he's shooting, meanwhile, the whole time he's shooting Guy's Grocery Games, which he had me come on as a cameo one day, which was fun. And then like one of the last nights where they were wrapping the show, he calls me over to the green room in between shoots. He goes, Capon, what do you think about cooking dinner at the house tonight? He goes, we're wrapping the show. All this food pretty much gets, what do you want to cook dinner for the family tonight? I go, God, I'd freaking love to. Like, are you kidding me? Let me give back a little bit. He goes, great. He goes, while you, Antonio, plan a menu. So it went from, I go, I got it. Antonio sat down at the end of the show, and you've watched Guy Grocery Games?
Of course.
Let me tell you something. What people
go through that.
People don't realize that is a real supermarket with some of the most pristine fruits, vegetables, produce, seafood. It's all there. It's crazy. I mean, he just does things the right way. It's like I'm like, Guy, you need to go behind the scenes. I want to do an episode behind the scenes at Guy's Grocery Games to just show off what that experience was on. And I hope you're listening because I'm pulling out the thickest scallops, like all this stuff. We planned a menu, and then at his house in California, he's got this beautiful outdoor kitchen with Antonio and Jet Li, who happened to come over, the producers from the Food Network. And the most amazing part was, like, not only did I cook this whole dinner in a beautiful table in the dining room, his dad, his mom was there, his kids were out of town. Food brings people together. We sat, I cooked dinner, we had dinner, but after that, the stories that took place, and his dad telling stories about Guy as a kid and how he evolved to become the guy that he is today. And Guy was launching a new line of sauces that he was coming out with, and he had just gotten all the tests, all the samples, and we're tasting all the samples together. This needs more acid, this needs more this, and then his dad telling the stories. Like, it was like one of those top 5 memorable culinary experiences of my life. Not because I cooked dinner, it was the overall, the vibe, the mom, the dad, and recently, I think last year already, Guy's dad passed away. I took the picture that was on my phone of Guy and his dad holding up the samples of the sauces, and I framed it. I blew up the picture. I framed it. I sent it to him. I said, Guy, obviously I'm sending my sincere condolences about your pops, but just want you to know that I'm gonna never forget that night. I'm glad I got to meet him. I'm glad I got to hear stories. And that's what it was all about. So again, why I love him. Bobby, I've already told you many times. Michael Simon, freaking awesome cat.
Who's the fourth? I like Michael Simon a lot. I used to go to Lola and Lolita.
We're texting every Sunday for
Get
football.
Him on the show.
I'm on a text chat with him and Strahan. We're cracking up all the time.
Right.
Listen, Andrew Zimmern, just an unbelievable human being, has had his own journey. Just great. Eric Repair, like, you talk about a guy that has stayed so grounded. Eric Repair could have 30 restaurants. He's got 2 or 3. He's got La Bernardin, which is still the top of the top.
Yep.
And it just stays focused on that. Danielle Blue, John George. I mean, these guys, like, look, you tell me, like, oh, I got a lot going on. John George is like 300 restaurants. Danielle is, I gotta tell you, I'm trying to keep up with 7. And I talk to these guys all the time. And like the one thing we're all battling is time and being able to answer the emails and text. Like, I need a driver. Anybody want to be a driver? I need a driver.
Yeah.
I need a driver.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get into an accident.
Really?
I hate to say it. I'm telling you now, I'm going to get in an accident.
Okay.
Because I definitely text when I drive. I text when I drive.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. You don't?
Unapologetic.
I'm sorry, Lori. You can't. It's awful. I think I'm pretty good at it.
Just ask me if I text when I drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I do everything.
So I think I'm pretty good at it. And if I'm
hair.
in traffic, I don't. But usually, but even I was on the phone with my assistant today, Gina, coming in here. She's like, I'm like, Gina, I just almost got an accident. She goes, I think you should probably lie about getting an accident because you really need it. It's like one of those necessary evils. So Danielle, John George.
So that's a stacked Rushmore Just so you
Listen,
know.
Keller. I mean, Keller is one of the greatest of all time. No doubt about that. Listen.
I'm going to ask you another different question. You seem to have been insulted by me when I was asking about failures and I brought up Frankenfood. And I think maybe failure was the wrong word for me to use because I missed the show. I thought it was great, but I just think that as a person in the food industry, you throw a lot of good stuff against the wall, which doesn't fucking stick for whatever reason, whatever the time. Like you talk about Beat Bobby Flay. Beat Bobby Flay, for some reason, is watchable from the first episode in reruns all the way out to the 35th episode. 35th season.
I want to add Tom Colicchio to the list. By the way,
everyone's getting on this fucking list. By the way,
Tom Colicchio's a gem, and even Top Chef. He stepped in shit with that.
Do you hate Bourdain? Did you not put him on the list? I'm just kidding with you. I'm just fucking with you. I can keep throwing people out that you left off. But go ahead.
Anyway, Frankenfood.
Yeah.
I don't view it as a failure. Okay. I had a TV show. I had a TV show on Spike, which is now Paramount.
Yep.
Truth be told, listen, I had a TV show. I had a premiere at Tao. I traveled all over the country.
I love the show.
It was amazing. I personally didn't think the show. Look, every week they said as long as the ratings go up every week, you'll get a second season. The ratings went up every week. We didn't get a second season. At the same time, I was kind of okay with it because I thought it was a little forced. It was gimmicky. And for me, and like, look, one of my things that they're always asking me to, like, every time they ask me to host Beat Bobby Flay, they're like, do you want to compete? And I've always said no. For a couple of reasons, but I've always said no. I don't love the competition aspect. It's not who I am. And there's another story. I don't know if I share, but
you're not going to share that.
No. So was it a failure? No, we had a great run. It didn't have the legs. It was also Spike, which didn't do food at the time. Like it just wasn't set up for the success. And again, it was gimmicky. It wasn't food anybody was going to go home and make it home. They were trying to create like the next cronut. Yeah, this guy created a cronut. It was a croissant. It was a donut. All right, whatever. And it became too forced. It became manipulated.
Okay.
So that's why I was okay with it. And I'm not sure if I wanted to do another season. So it was kind of like, I was okay with it. Listen, one question I get asked all the time, and the more I do these podcasts, like I have a voice. People's like, you should do more TV. Every time I go on a TV show, whether it's a host or a judge or whatever it is, everybody on the crew is like, dude, how do you not have your own show? Like, how do you not have your own show? I'm like, yeah, from your mouth to God's ears. We haven't been able to figure out the formula or because I keep saying if somebody gets on my back, like I haven't shut up since I've been here. How long are we talking already? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I
got a lot
30.
to say. Huh?
An hour 30.
Are you going to cut this down or this just keeps going?
No, I'm just going. I don't give a shit. Do whatever the hell you want.
Somebody stop me. No, but I think I have a good message. I think I have a good voice. I just need to figure out what the platform is because a lot of the cooking shows to me are the same. It's a lot of the same competition stuff. So no, not a failure. But listen, and now that I think about it, I had a great 20-year plus career with a group that we opened up many restaurants at that are still thriving. Probably not the same without me, if I dare say so myself.
I would agree.
But we opened.
I dumped a lot of money into lore for a while. I did.
Either way. But now I am incredibly grateful and fortunate that at 48 years old, I was able to start a new chapter in my life that I needed to and surround myself with new partners that I love, respect, and enjoy being with personally and professionally. And I like to say we're just getting warmed up, man.
Okay.
We are just getting warmed up. I think
agree.
we got some more properties. Capon's Burgers #2 is coming online in a few months in the Bergen Town Center. My buddy Garrett Singer from high school.
Wait, you're going right to Bergen Town Center?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Bobby in there?
Bobby was in there, and he was the first phone call I made. He said, Capon, take the space.
Okay, good.
I should have kept that one going.
Yeah.
But another one close to home, and we hope to really open up more of these. We're looking at locations for other Capon shop houses. And again, we have good formulas. I got an incredible team. Big shout out to Roddy and to Gary and to Tony and to Connor and to Lucas and everybody at every restaurant because it's hard work, man. You got to show up.
Yeah, it takes a village.
We are taking care of everybody else the entire time. Sometimes I like to be sitting. When I go over to a table and one of my moves is I just take the menus away. If I'm there, you're not looking at the menu.
Okay.
And one day I would just love to go to a restaurant. It's happened where I'm just sit back and the chef comes over and says, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I always say, keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times. Like, it's a good feeling to just know, like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's just do it.
You know?
I would, Believe me, I sometimes get put in a situation where I'm asked to order for the table.
Yeah.
Like you've been there a million times, and I don't mind doing it. I love it. But if I go someplace where somebody has a certain nuance or, I don't know, some sort of recon that I don't, and they order for the table, and I can just wait to see what comes out next.
I've always wanted, my dad, we always want to do a restaurant. One of our favorite restaurants is Italy. It was called Isola de Comanici in the island in the middle of what's the lake?
Como?
Yeah, Lake Como. It's not there anymore.
Okay.
Same menu for 100 years.
Really?
Yeah, you don't order. You sit down, there's some vegetable antipastas. They bring out a big French bread out of the oven, a couple different sliced hams. There's the fish course out of the ocean. There's fried chicken. It's just an experience. So I've always wanted to do that kind of thing where it's rotating. But you know what? When I design a menu, I want you, Large, to open up that menu and read this menu and say, holy shit. Not what are we ordering?
Yeah. What aren't
we ordering?
Yeah, I can tell your menu.
Like that Capon Shop House menu?
That's difficult.
You nailed it, by the way.
Yeah.
But you missed a few things, but you're only 3 people.
Correct.
I want people to look at a menu and say, Houston, we have a problem.
Did you hear this son of a bitch say I missed a few things?
Well, you only 3
My
people.
daughter's 15.
You didn't even order steak.
I know.
You didn't get the chicken parm. You didn't get the shrimp scampi.
Right.
You didn't get the grilled octopus.
That's what
you
I'm
did
saying.
pretty well.
That's what I'm doing.
You
Now
did
it's
pretty well.
It was awesome when I
you
first
did great.
came in.
I would have thrown on a little rib cap, but anyway, my point is, when you look at my menus, I want shit to just be like, oh my God, because now, and the most important thing, when you leave a restaurant, if you're not saying to yourself, when are we coming back here? You will close.
Yeah.
There's too much competition out there these days. You need to, like, if you say we're coming back for your birthday, no, that's once a year, dude.
Yeah.
When we even when we originally opened up Lord 25 years ago, like the original menu was not right. It took us a fire to revamp, to add sushi, to add things that people wanted to eat.
Right.
It was just missing the mark a little bit. You got to give them what they want, man.
Yeah.
Like that shrimp scampi that you didn't have, which I'm going to fucking spoon feed you next time you come in. I'm
going on the way home.
It is chilies. It is butter. It is tomatoes. It's got focaccia sticks on the side that I'm literally rolling around in the butter and lathering it up like a sponge. Ian's cracking up over here.
Yeah.
Ian, where does Ian live? You in Jersey, New York?
I'm in Hoboken.
Oh my God, Ian has spoken, everybody.
Yeah.
I thought you were mute.
I'm in Hoboken. Those are your 3 words.
I'm allowed to talk, but I usually ruin the vibes of the food.
No, you're good.
Ian does have a palate of a 12-year-old, but he's getting much better.
Of course. We reviewed O'Bagel.
Big shout out to my boy Steven O'Bagel. And Miles Square looks amazing. You want to talk about a kid that's grinding?
Who?
Steven.
Oh, yeah?
That kid is grinding. And he took a page out of my book. I was on a podcast with him. He knows he's doing
a lot of personality.
He is doing everything right. From O'Bagel, this place, Miles Square, looks amazing.
I don't know.
Like I took my kids to O'Bagel. Hoboken in Jersey for me is like a 50-minute drive. I don't need to drive 50 minutes for bagels, but I did.
Yeah.
Because I like the guy. I want to show respect. And they were great.
Yeah.
I need to go to Miles Square because it looks amazing. And another guy, like taking all of his close friends and building a real company. Like they're doing things the right way.
Right.
And you just from a great use of social media, just doing it right.
Yeah, and he was very good very early on in social media too, so it did set him apart. We're gonna wrap up. Before you do,
say it ain't so.
I give the same.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I know
over
you
here.
are, and I think the questions you can take your time with, but it's the same questions I give to everybody. What is your go-to fast food order? It can't be at one of your places, but if it's all of a sudden in a moment of weakness, I don't care if you're sober or if you're not. What's the go-to fast food order for you?
Is it just one?
Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you like.
Listen,
just one, people wonder where a guy like you, who has all this elevated cuisine surrounding you 24/7.
I get it. So my son loves Popeyes. I can't say it right, but it's Popeyes.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I took him to Popeyes once, and it was a freaking 10. I took him to another Popeyes, and it was like a 6. Consistency is everything.
Yeah.
The definition of quality is consistency. Like if you come back to Capon Shop House and you want that pork chop and it's as good, if not better, you lose.
The last piece with the bone in it, man.
Yeah, large. Like if you don't pick up that bone, I will punch you in your face.
You had to carbonate that bone to ever see if there was ever any meat on it. I sucked that overnight. I was a $3 whore. Go ahead.
I get mad at people that don't pick up the bone. Popeyes on a good day is freaking great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. We go skiing at Mountain Creek. There is a Taco Bell at the bottom of the hill. We hit it like a couple winters ago. Don't know the last time I had Taco Bell.
What's the go-to at Taco Bell? Is there one, or is it just
whatever.
whatever's there?
Who knows? But like, and again, don't eat. I don't. Chick-fil-A. I always used to like Chick-fil-A. Shake Shack. I think out of all of them, from a quality purpose,
they do a nice
it's
job.
fast food, but it's not.
Yeah, it's elevated fast food. I think Popeyes and Taco Bell live in a different universe.
Oh yeah, Shake Shack is a different quality.
How do you take your eggs? When you go to a diner and you order eggs, how do you take your eggs?
How do I take my eggs? If I'm home, I do like sunny side up. Probably over easy, over medium. I like a runny yolk.
Okay,
I like a runny yolk.
How do you order your pizza? Do you do toppings?
A bacon egg and cheese scrambled or over easy, over medium?
I'm a bacon egg and cheese over easy, salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce. And I like that money shot where the yolk is going down my thing.
I don't like the scrambled egg. A lot of people now are doing the souffle where like they're cooking the egg at the time, like in the airport.
Yeah.
That's not right.
We did Jovo's down in Brick, New Jersey. Shout out the little mom and pop place. And they do this just unbelievable thing with Taylor ham. But I was like, can I get it not done with the scramble? They're like, however the fuck you want it.
Well, a lot of times,
the better.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. How do you take your pizza? If you would order a pizza, toppings, no toppings, like what's the go-to pizza?
First of all, well done.
Capon?
It's got to be well done. And just like Dave always says, like, and again, like my buddy that just got that review, if that pie was in the oven 90 seconds.
Yeah. It's a gentle balance.
It's the same thing with fries. Anything out of the fry, like if they're not crispy, if those disco fries, they got to be. If they're not crispy, I don't want them.
Yeah.
So I know from pizza, like I say, well done. Like I'm a big New Haven guy. I like Sally's. I was just at Modern, by the way. Blew my freaking socks
Really,
off.
I've never been.
Holy shit, dude! Friendly with the owner, dude. Modern, like let me tell you something. And when you talk about the overall experience and hospitality and charm, probably one of my top dining experiences in a long time.
Really,
blown away.
That's good to hear.
Oh, I think his name is Billy Modern. Like, what a just. But
are you a toppings guy?
Yes.
What do you put?
I do like crumbled sausage.
Mm-hmm.
I do crumbled sausage. I do like shaved meatballs. I do like pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
But we did a tasting. Papa John's came out with a new pizza last night.
Okay.
So we had a Papa John's grand reveal of their new pan pizza in Cattail in the Omakase room at Fly Fish Club last night.
Okay.
And I got to tell you something, man. Like those guys nailed it. They have a new pan pizza coming out.
Really?
With the crumbled sausage and the pepperoni. Oof. But I'll tell you something else. If you order pizza, if you order a slice, the best way to order is a slice. Like even when Dave gets the whole pie, you always want that pizza to sit and then you want to reheat it. The slice is the best way to go.
Yeah, that's why.
Well done.
The slice culture in New York City, like some people ask me, would you rather have a slice cut straight off of a pie that came out of the oven? I like when it sits there for a little bit, you chuck it back in, and then you crisp up, and then it comes on that same paper plate that basically is see-through after you're done.
Yes.
That's the way to eat a slice of New York pizza, as opposed to right out of the onion.
Yes, Lord.
That's exactly. It's turning into Harry versus Sally.
I'll tell you something else. If you order pizza at home, delivery, nothing wrong with delivery.
Yep.
Whatever you order at home, whatever you order, you're spending a lot of money. When you place a delivery, turn your oven on 400 degrees convection.
There it is.
And put a sheet pan in there. If you order pizza, when that pizza comes, take 2 slices and throw them on that hot sheet pan. Close the oven. Count to 90 seconds. It brings that pie back to life. If you order fries from the best restaurant in your town, throw those fries on a sheet pan and put them back in the oven for 30. Just bring them back. It needs a little bit of love. It's a delivery. It's an Uber driver. It's sitting in the car. Like it's cold out.
Yeah. I can tell you too.
Our guy Jeff Morrow.
I'm sorry, Ian. You did not.
I'm only bringing this up because it's not my advice. Jeff Morrow told us to order your delivery pizzas uncut so that it keeps the moisture in there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
and then reheat it.
Or
when
even
you
the Morrow minute. Like when he makes a sandwich, and I would agree with this 9 times out of 10. If I make a nice hero, wrapping it and just letting it sit for a sec so everything kind of redistributes. Like after you cook a steak, you know what I mean? Where you let it rest. There's a little bit of a resting period that makes everything good.
I don't understand how we have first of all, I love that Ian's now chiming in without it being asked to speak. He's very comfortable over there. Ian, I love you. Got anything else to add? Please feel free. Listen, I made cheesesteaks for my boys on Sunday for NFL Championship. Yeah. You make the cheesesteak. The most important move is you stuff the meat. First, you toast the bread. You stuff the meat. Then you need to wrap it in aluminum foil and throw it in the oven for 2 minutes. Because that's when it all comes together.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Over meat. But that's the magic. Like meatball parm. Like I went to a restaurant the other day in my town. The guy's making me a chicken parm. He toasted the bread. He made the chicken parm. And then he goes to hand it to me. I said, can you do me a favor? I said, can you please, I go, guys, you should never serve it like that. You should always put it back in the oven because I want to pick up that because it wasn't hot anymore.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the owner came to the shop house that night. He goes, hey, I came here for 2 reasons. A, to support your restaurant, but B, to thank you for telling my team that they need to put that sandwich back in the oven. I go, that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, I have no filter. For
I haven't seen one yet.
I have no filter. But I thought maybe I was out of line for telling them this, but they actually told the owner that, and the owner came to say thank you because it's wrap it in aluminum foil, put the whole thing in. I said, guys, before you deliver them, make them, wrap them, blast them in the oven, then throw them in the hot bag to go out. Give it a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Maybe someone doesn't have a warm oven.
Yeah. We were talking too about cold ketchup and like how disgusting, like a bacon, egg, and cheese. If I make one at home, I wrap it after I'm done with salt, pepper, ketchup because I need ketchup to be a little bit warm on my sandwich. Otherwise, it's disgusting.
All right, what else? And then pizza?
Yeah, let's go. What's your greatest snack that your mom made when you were growing up? And I'm expecting something from a Sephardic Jewish Greek. I can kind of get the Greek. I don't know what the Sephardim are putting on the table as a snack, but is there one from your childhood
she used to make a dish called condemned chicken, but it was delicious, but it wasn't a snack.
No?
Yeah, snacks. No, I grew up with healthy snacks. I used to go to my best friend Prussian's house, and the first thing I did when I went there is I went into his pantry and I was eating Doritos and Pringles and all kinds of crap because we didn't have that in my house.
What's the Tim Duncan of foods for you? And if I have to explain that, Tim Duncan operated at an elite level for a very long time, but he was never the guy that they put on the fucking brochure. So when I go to an ice cream truck, there's all those fancy little things, but it's always that ice cream sandwich in the corner that I know I can order and it's going to hit like a fucking donkey kick.
Chipwich.
What is, or the ice cream, is the Chipwich for you? Is that, what's your Tim Duncan of foods?
I went through
anywhere.
It might be a
Chipwich.
So I went through a year of my life. I was a line cook at Park Avenue Cafe. I lived with my dad. Every night on my walk home, I wasn't hitting the bars every now and then, but I'm not a big drinker. Maybe whatever. On my way home, who knows?
Yeah.
Long day. I went to the same bodega. I went to the same bodega on 77th in York, and I would go in there and I would grab a Chipwich. And my dad actually used to sell Chipwiches at a flea market back in the day to keep himself busy. So I used to go in there and I used to grab a Chipwich out of the thing and I put it on the counter. 7 months in a row, probably 5 or 6 nights a week, Chipwich. I'm not exactly, I know we're on a podcast, but I'm not exactly svelte, right?
That's on YouTube too. They can see. Yeah.
Great. Really? I'm sitting here laying here. Are you serious?
Right. And by the way, your fly's been open for a half hour.
This is a podcast. Great angle. You should have told me that. That's not very nice.
That's Ian's fault. That's why I don't let him
That's
talk.
That's not cool.
Right.
I'm
Ian.
like lying in the, I'm like, hey, how we doing?
It's a
Ian, you're fired, dude.
That's why I'm not saying anything.
That wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, 7 months in a row, I get a Chipwich. I put a Chipwich on the counter. The guy behind the counter, he goes, how about a froze fruit? And this took me back. One of my first jobs was in a liquor store. And I saw at an early age what liquor could do because we used to open up, whatever time we used to open up, there'd be a line of the same 9 guys or girls outside every day before we opened. And I became to realize that they were full-blown alcoholics. And you see that, but they weren't buying, they would never buy a Magnum.
Fifths.
They would buy fifths.
Yeah.
Why'd they buy a fifth? Because A, that was probably all they could afford, and they knew that's all they could drink, but that got them through to the next day. And they were full-blown alcoholics. So when the guy said to me, how about a fruit? I had a flashback. I'm like, wow, I'm a junkie.
Oh my God.
I'm an absolute junkie. And I put it back in the counter, I put it back in the case, and I grabbed my strawberry froze fruit, and I'm walking home. I'm like, this is so not doing it for me right now.
Right.
It's just not doing it for me. So I always say, when I go to the truck, I hit a lot of ice cream trucks. Do I want the double cone? Sometimes I just want the Chipwich. And I'll tell you this is 10 years ago. At Lore, I used to feature mini ice cream sandwiches. Assorted mini ice cream sandwiches. And whenever I put them on a table, I would say, hey, we got a strawberry shortcake, we have a peanut butter chocolate, we have a grasshopper, and of course, we have the classic Chipwich.
Yeah, that is a Tim Duncan.
I said that to a table one time. The guy looks at me and goes, what'd you just say? I said, blah, blah. He goes, no, what was the last one? I go, the classic Chipwich. He goes, yeah. He goes, why do you say that? I go, it's the greatest ice cream sandwich of all time. I said, I told him the whole story. I went through a year of my life. He goes, he pulls out his credit card, he pulls out a black card. Mr. Chipwich.
Oh, really?
I go, that's the coolest thing I ever saw. He goes, I invented the chip which in my basement 25 years ago. He recently passed away, so I like to tell that story.
Yeah.
My other story was when George Lucas came into the restaurant. Not starstruck by anybody, but I'm a Star Wars guy. It was relatively after New Year's Eve, and I used to buy these neon sabers. Yeah. So George freaking Lucas is in the restaurant, and I walk over and I pull up this $3.99. I actually have the real ones in my movie theater in my house that are awesome. This was the $2.99. I just pull up the sword. I go, Luke, I am your father. He goes, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He goes, nobody's ever done that to me before. I said, you see? So a little original.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, what else?
How about an overrated food or drink that you wish you enjoyed, but you simply can't stomach it? Is there something out there? Because I think people just assume you eat anything that they put in front of you. What don't you eat?
I eat it all.
Do you?
Yeah, I like it. There's not much I don't like. I say abalone, but you don't see that often.
Yeah, that's an answer.
Sea urchin I like. I don't love it to the point where people freak out over it. Yeah, we do it better than anybody else at Ito. Yeah, there's not much.
No,
yeah.
if there's no answer, if you could recommend one restaurant that's not yours anywhere in the world, what would it be? For me, you're recommending a restaurant for me where you think that I'd have a fantastic experience. And I'm telling you, we're going to run down the list of your restaurants before we go. Please don't think that I'm not going to try every fucking one of them.
I know,
but give me one restaurant anywhere in the world. You mentioned a couple of great ones in Italy, but just give me one.
Yeah, Isla de Comanici was always very special. Anywhere in the world, I'm trying to think of these.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It's not tough for people who aren't in the industry. They get impressed.
Because I always wonder if I can go highbrow, lowbrow. Look, my buddy Sal, like Cafe Spaghetti over in Brooklyn. Like he just wants some good food.
I haven't been to Cafe Spaghetti.
Please go to Cafe.
Patty just went there last week.
Please tell me when you're going.
Raving about it.
Oh, please. He's got swoonies. I mean, you talk about a kid that's just cooking with heart and soul. I will go to Cafe Spaghetti with anytime we're out. We'll sit in a little outside vestibule. You forget where you are. He's got a little, he's got a bunch of places. And I think he's in, where is it? That area.
I don't know.
Look up where he's got swoonies. He just opened up a Chinese place. He's killing it.
Really?
But a bunch of small, you just got a really small mom and pop feel. That's just killer food.
No, I'll take Cafe Spaghetti. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I love it.
If you can get one meal back, what would it be? Maybe from your childhood. Maybe it was served at a restaurant that no longer exists. When I asked Zimmerman this one, he's like, "Oh, it's a giant scallop off the coast of like Samoa." I said, he's like, the tribe that harvested the scallops are all wiped out from a tsunami, and the scallop is an endangered species that no longer. I'm like, that's hardcore. I just meant like my grandmother made me a soup.
I always
like,
Andrew, whenever I think of Andrew, when he had that show, Bizarre Foods, there was one episode where he ate a whole like wild beast eyeball. It was like a softball. It was like a softball. And that was that show when he was eating crazy food.
Crazy.
And he takes a bite out of this softball, which is eyeball. And I'm like, watching. I mean, talk about it. And he's like, yeah, it's a little chalky. I'm like, why?
Oh, Jesus.
I hope they're paying you more for this episode because you shouldn't be eating that.
Yeah, he's fearless. What's a meal you wish you can get back?
Less to me about the meal as opposed to the company. And I'm going to say one more meal with my dad.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably at Isla de Comanici on that island because it was like one of those experiences that you just never forget.
Yeah. That's a perfect answer. Now I'm going to ask you your death row meal. I'm not sure what you're going to be put to death for.
So here's the deal.
I'm hoping it doesn't involve the texting and driving. But you're going down tomorrow at noon. This is your last meal, Capon. What do you want us to bring into your cell?
Here's the deal. I'm going to be gone before I hit the chair. We're going to go down. We're going to go down hard. Like, I ain't waiting till you serve me one little bit. We are going down. And what's the Bon Jovi?
Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory. Yeah. Like, if I'm going.
I got every reference, by the way.
When's the chair? Is the chair Friday at 9 a.m.?
No, the chair's tomorrow.
Chair's tomorrow. Well, we're starting right freaking now.
Where are we going?
We're going dumplings. We're going pizza. We're going chicken parm. We're going Katz's pastrami.
Right.
We're going Cote de Boeuf. We're going veal parm. We're going shrimp po' boy. We're going Italian hero.
Yeah.
We're going a couple ice cream sandwiches along the way. We're going a lobster tails from a place called Guzzo's near me. We're going fucking blueberry pancakes from the Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas. Best pancakes in the entire world. We're going strong dim sum. Like I don't know about you, hot and sour soup, soup dumplings. I could crush. There's a place called Washington Potato. You want to go? Let me tell you something. I'm going to invite you as my guest to come stay with me at the Fontainebleau. The food, and I'm not just saying this, but like we will go to Washington Potato. We'll have a cinnamon roll at Chez Bon Bon. We're gonna. I mean, the everything. It's just Mother Wolf. The pizzas and pastas at Mother Wolf, Komodo, Poppy Steak, Don's Prime. Like there's no bad meals there. Listen,
I should tell you the death row meal. The cap is $113, so you can't spend any more. No, I'm just kidding. That's a good answer. We'd have to bring Michael Kadick around. You don't know.
And it's food. Food for me. I wake up every morning. I want to do two things. All I want to do is eat because I love it and I enjoy it. And all I want to do is lose weight. I battle with my weight ever since I'm 14 years old. I try so hard, but I've been thinking about doing the shots. My wife was like, please don't do the shots.
Oh, right.
She's like, you are who you are. But just control it. Be smart about it.
Right.
So I try and be smart about it.
You do, right?
I do. Listen. If you said to me, Large, Frank, I got you a TV show. Today's what? Today's Thursday. Capon, I got you a TV show. We're shooting Monday morning. They need you to gain 50 pounds. See you Monday, Large. Because you and I will leave here.
Yes.
And we will start. I could do and it really is. There's a pizza place called Pizza.
Josh, can I ask you though, if somebody said we got you a TV show, you have to lose 15 and it starts next month, you'd be like, that's going to be close. That's going to be fucking close. I'm going to
say you might want to find somebody else. No, listen. I'm trying really hard.
Of course.
There is a pizza place called, there's so many pizzas. Hey, Dave, you listening? There is a pizza place called Pizza Love Sauce next door to Fly Fish Club. You know it?
I used to get Pizza Love Sauce all the time when I lived in the Lower East Side.
On Houston?
Yes.
They make something. First of all, the pizza there is very good. And again, there's so many underrated pizza places. The pizza there is very good.
Okay.
But they do something there that you want to really get in the head of a fat guy, like Husky, fat, whatever. They do something there, and I'll show you the video when we're done. They take a whole pizza shell, they fold it over, and they bake it like a big calzone. But it's a big pizza. Mm-hmm. Then they take 3 breaded chicken parm. They do a chicken parm in a half a pizza. They bake the pizza, they open it up, they slide in the chicken parm, fresh more mozz, and they bake the whole thing in the oven. They pull this thing out. I've been literally dreaming about this thing for a long time.
Right.
We just hired a new GM. I used that as an excuse to buy lunch for everybody. And I was like, you know what? I ordered a couple of these things. I just wanted to make sweet love to that thing. And
I got to go to Pizza Love.
Dude, it is so good.
Is it on the menu or is it
they serve it. It's there. And it's a beast. And I have a buddy that owns Fort Lee Pizza. I called my boy Witz. I said, Witz, rip this thing off.
Right.
I showed him the video. I said, dude, he's like, done. Imitation is the biggest form of flattering.
Absolutely. I got to get some spots from you.
And shout out, they're open late. If you're like me, going out to the bars, coming home at 4 a.m.
And they're good guys. Good guys in there. Good guys.
We dropped a lot.
Wonton soup, like just hot and sour soup, dim sum. I have a thing about
better soup dumplings by us, like in Fort Lee.
Soup Dumpling Plus.
Soup Dumpling Plus is the only place that I go to. Yes, I have.
You go to Aquarius for dim sum?
No.
My local crew, the TLC, the Tenderfly lunch crew.
Every time barbecue I go to is on that second floor place. It's on stilts. I can't remember.
Yeah, I go there. There. We got to go to Wooga.
Really?
Oh, Wooga.
Really?
Wooga. Dude, the fried chicken there, the Korean barbecue.
Oh, really?
Dude. I mean, can we please make it? Can we do this?
If you want to, please.
Yes.
You say it.
You're
say this on camera, but I would go. I would buy.
Yeah, I don't
even though you're extremely wealthy.
That's silly.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
See, I say that to people that I buy, and then I have no intention to do because they're like, "Don't be silly, Lars."
My son and I on weekends. That's our game plan. Where we get lunch. Wooga is great. Aquarius, me and the Tenderfly lunch crew. Anytime there's a birthday, we get the big table at the Aquarius dim sum, and these guys are funny because the whole time I'm ordering more and more food. Oh, it's enough. Well, shut the fuck
up.
They crush everything. And you gotta remember when there's 8 guys at the table and you order a dish like it's shrimp and lobster sauce. There's only 8 jumbo shrimp on the plane, so just grab 1. Foreman grabbed 2 last time, by the way. I was like, Foreman, there's 8 of us. You just grab 2 shrimp. Like you got to pay attention to this. You got to be careful with this kind of thing.
By the way, you gotta give this guy all of his props when you go to his restaurants. There's nothing worse than sitting down for a table for 4 because your restaurants are 2 tops or 4 tops for the most part with big things, and they give you an appetizer and there's 3 of them.
It's
one person gets fucked.
Can we talk about this by a second?
Yeah.
All my things are 4.
Yeah. No, I know.
All the crispy rice. All that.
Yeah.
It's my biggest pet peeve when people design something for 3 pieces.
I hate it.
And more importantly, you know what we do in all my restaurants? Whether it's the crispy rice, which you usually buy the piece, the hash brown, which you buy the piece, even the shrimp scampi.
Is that puffed rice around the edge of the crispy?
Yes.
I put that in the review.
If you do like to cook, if you want to come and hang out in the kitchen, I would love to have you. I mean that sincerely.
That's my thing.
So all of our items, even a shrimp scampi, that's literally 4 shrimp to an order. All of our servers are instructed. If a table of 5 orders a shrimp scampi, hey, you want me to throw another shrimp? Because even crispy rice, I don't want you to have to buy another order. First of all, it's $25.
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
It's so disrespectful and so unhospitable. Would you like me to add one? Sure, 5 piece. So instead of getting 2 orders at whatever, and now you're fighting over the last 3, no, just add another piece. Charge me the $4, $5, $6, whatever it may be. It's just the hash browns. I don't want a whole nother order. I just want 1 per person. It's silly.
Because they're overwhelmed. Like those hash browns, by the way, my wife, my daughter are not caviar people.
They are now.
Which, no, I ate them all. That's my point.
Come on.
Like, and so you're wondering why I didn't have the steak. Them? What's that? No, I don't force them to do it, but they forced me. They all.
Are you a caviar guy?
Yes, big time.
Caviar guy?
Yeah.
Big shout out to my boy Raymond at Black Diamond Caviar. I'll send you a little tin, and you can just sit here and make sweet love to caviar.
Oh, I'll do bumps all night. Yeah. Honestly, it's like the 80s for me.
Nothing better.
We were at the caviar.
You got to push them a little bit. You got to get them to taste that.
No,
thing.
they try everything.
But my
family, everyone tries everything, and so they try it more than once. Every time. And so they're just at a point where they don't like caviar. Again.
What about Super Bowl? Super Bowl coming up? When is this going?
This is coming up Monday.
Oh, you turn around quick.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
I mean, if I'm working at Barstool Sports and there's this chance that Dave Portnoy sees this, I think the Patriots
are the
greatest one.
Go Pats!
I don't know.
You guys have any presents out there? You guys doing anything?
So we have a ton of guys that are going to be out there. We'll be running live content all week out of California, culminating in the bowl, where Dave has been very selective on who he's bringing into the suite.
Are you in?
So I'm not part of the football guys, because there are guys here who do it much better than I ever can. So they're absolutely saturated with that, and I totally get it. And we're also a Boston start, like everybody here, for the most part. So all the guys that have been through all the other Patriots Super Bowls, I'm hoping Dave has next to him in this suite, just tearing it. Because a couple of years ago, he was in cuffs trying to go in for a Super Bowl. So to see the Pats win it again this year with him in a suite, living up with the guys, that would be good for me. I'm in Daytona the following week for Daytona 500. I was actually going to go to Sobe. I was thinking about it, but I don't think I will.
Shit, Sobe's always great.
Is it fun? Yeah. So I'm kind of traveling around a lot. So
personally, I'm not thrilled about the Super Bowl. I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Listen,
so who gives a fuck?
I actually have a ton of respect for the Pats organization. Love Bob Kraft.
Right.
I actually love Vrabel as a coach. I think it's pretty cool that they got back there so fast. I don't care how or why, but they did. Seattle, great defense, but not, not. I put it this way. I go to the game every year with my crew. I actually think we might not. I'm working the whole weekend. I'm starting by doing a tailgate in the sky. I'm doing something pretty cool. I'm doing a tailgate on a 737 executive configured VIP flight to the Super Bowl.
Wait, so the 737 flying into the Super Bowl, and you're doing the tailgate in the sky?
I'm doing a tailgate in the sky.
That sounds awesome.
For 80 VIP members.
That's awesome.
I'm curating a whole menu. I got New England lobster rolls. I got Kansas City barbecue.
Right.
I got some Seattle chowder. Like this is I've done a lot of cool stuff in my career.
That's gonna be
is something that's gonna be pretty badass. I'm doing a Capon's Burgers pop-up. I'm doing something with Gary and Vayner Sports. And I'm doing the Players Tailgate. If you want to come through the Players Tailgate on Sunday, if you're gonna be out there, let me know.
Okay. So before I let you go, Fly Fish Club, you're not getting into.
I'm never going to let you go. I'm going to hold you in my arms forever.
Gonna try. Little Maven, Capon's, Ito. I mean, it's actually overwhelming what you have. When then you say like other guys have 200 restaurants, just looking at your book of business is overwhelming. But if you want to know what I've been to Capon's Shop House. I had a very good experience. I'm going to the rest of them now very quickly as your guest, and I'll report back. But either way, this was the longest 20 minutes I've ever asked.
Yeah, let's please do that together. And
if you have the time, I'd love to. Yeah.
I really want you to experience Fly Fish Club because I think it's something that we're really proud of. I'm proud of it all, but look, we're doing good work. We're doing good work, and it's all paying off. And again, to everybody listening out there, put in the work, man.
Yeah,
put in the work. Surround yourself by good people. Have open conversations. Be real. Keep shit real. We need to have more conversations like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love I could have this with you once a week, but I will tell you, if you guys do want more information on everything that Josh is involved with, it's joshcapon.com.
And follow me at Chef Capon. I put up some fun stories.
Absolutely.
We'll have some fun.
Unless you hate dogs. All righty, Josh. Capon, I appreciate your time. Honest to God, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Sure has. Pleasure been all mine.
Yeah.
You know where you are.
You're in the jungle, baby. You're going to die. All right, this is You Got to Try This, and we'll see you guys next week.
Respect.
All right, so Ian, so that's Josh Capon. I knew that I was going to get along with him. Whenever I see him busting balls with Bobby, the whole deal, and I regret that he was in Vegas while I was at his restaurant, because if I was there, I think he would have made nice for the table, did all that stuff that I mentioned before that they probably did at Scala Nutella. So I really appreciate Josh carving out some time to come and spend some time with us. Any of the restaurants that we mentioned, make sure you guys go, because everything that Josh puts out winds up being something that you got to try. We appreciate you guys listening. Again, leave 5-star reviews and drop in a question in the comments section. We'll try to get to them. Like, subscribe, all that other stuff. And we'll see you next week on You Got to Try This.